Uh-oh. 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 I have to stream something now. Let's stream something. Let's get some music going. How's it going, folks? This is the Mudita Heart stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome, 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 welcome. Please make yourselves comfortable. I'm gonna get some footage going. Let's get this going here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Geneva. Good to see you, Prince Anime. Good to see you, Count Darrow. Good to see you, Cantane, Anders, Blue, Glums, Geneva again. No ho, Prince Anime. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Wow, okay. Captions. I set that notification on. I still don't exactly know how the captions work. Hey, welcome, 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 Dorky. Thank you for following. I'm good. I'm good. Yay, Doctors Without Borders. All donations today will go to Doctors Without Borders. I just started, so hey, you're sending another notification. Thank you, Prince. Thank you. Yeah, donations today will go to Doctors Without Borders. They're helping with humanitarian causes around the world, and yeah, please donate, and all proceeds will go to them. So uh, how do I follow up with that kind of act? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's stream some music. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mudita, and gonna do some shameless self promotion here. Da na na na. Shameless self promote. I'm known as Charles, he, him pronouns, alias Mudita Heart Online. I'm a game designer and developer, showcasing games as an art form while creating kinder and cozier communities in the process. You can check out my games all free. You could play them for free, because I didn't think about charging for them, and I'm making $0 on them. Free. They're high quality games. Check them out on itch.io, and but check them out after the stream, and I'll remind you. Da na na na. Free, free. And if you like them, you can donate to the stream, and it'll go to Doctors Without Borders. And you should check out my Twitch, which you're watching right now. You check out my YouTube, which has lots of VODs and podcasts and YouTube Shorts and stuff. I could even show some of that even. Mudita Heart. And but here's my itch.io. Hey, dun, hey. I gotta turn off that other notification thing. Dun na na na. Wow, wow. I should have got more water. What's up, folks? What's up, folks? Well, it's been a while since I've seen some folks. Hey, Prince, what up? Dun na na. I gotta keep it going. I gotta keep the pain. You're causing me pain, but it's good. It's good. Pain is good once in a while. Da na 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 na. You check out my games. Here's a bunch of games. This is Clyde's World. Clyde's World. Blah blah blah. Hey, welcome to Clyde's World. I voice all the characters. I did all the art. I wrote all the story. There's like some references to like some pseudo fictitious deep Harambe conspiracies and ethics, ethical philosophy lessons there. And here's Glass Walls. Glass Walls is a team game we worked on when I was at NYU Game Center for grad school. It's about intergenerational healing between three generations of women, told through a surrealistic puzzle game. Very cool. And here's some other stuff. Good Vibes the Ride, which is like basically like It's a Small World but more internet and meme and stuff like that. Let me see if you guys can see this. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. And if you like it, it's free. But also, any donations help support me and things I support and stuff like that. So yes, can you believe it? I can barely believe that it's free either, to be honest. Looking back on it, but it's okay. Whatever, it's fine. Confessions of an NPC is a narrative game I worked on. You can check out all these games on your own. And Reflections at Sunset is about reflecting on your personal thoughts and feelings and writing a letter to a loved one. Please have a pen and paper ready. And yeah, look at the sunset. And here's the sunset. There, take a look at it yourself. Ba ba ba. And here's a bunch of other stuff. All right, good. Good, you're doing good. Hey, oh, wow. We just raised the fund right now. Geneva, that's so generous of you. Thank you so much. Doctors Without Borders, why wasn't there a notification for that? Huh, you darn notifications? What happened? I'll do it. Da 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 da. Oh boy, what is it? Let me see. Final. Da 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 da. Oh, Spoon the Groove. Does he have copyright on that? Um, let's see this one. There was, but no audio notification. All right, I didn't hear it. What happened? What's the dealio? Oh, it's popping off. Oh, the remix is popping off. Oh, oh, oh. Wow, $50. That's so generous. Oh, we got an ad break. There's an ad break now. Please stick around for the ad break. Can't hear the audio. Ah, here we go. There's the audio. There's the audio. I think we got the audio. I gotta restart it now. It's very loud. Yes, you're right. I gotta check my levels. Thank you. Thank you. Too loud. Too loud. Remember your commands, folks. Commands. I got lots of commands. How lucky am I feeling today? Lucky. Love. Love is at the root of everything. All learning, all relationships, love or the lack of it. Baby Castles is oh no, 26% luck. Oh no. We'll round that up. If you round that up, that's like 30%. 36% luck. Oh my gosh, what? We're getting some rolls here. I have 66% luck. Hey, that's 2 out of 3. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Let's see what else we got here. How are people in the Muppety? Oh, I'm 100% Chaos Muppet today. Hey-yo. Hey-yo. 47%. It's not a competition. It's also, if you're 47% Chaos Muppet, then you're also, the inverse of that is Lawful Muppet. Okay, you see? So yeah. Doozy. Yes, indeed, there is a doozy there. So don't forget commands, folks. Let me add that to the title here. Actually, commands, commands, and update that. All right. Gamers. Oh man, are we not doing what's it called? Where is it at? Emote wall. Emotes going. Oh. What the heck? This thing's busted. Who you calling busted, Buster? Alright, oh. Wait a second, that's because I have 2 different bots going. I got bots on bots on bots here. I got Streamlabs bot and I got Stream Elements bot going. Bots on bots on bots. But yeah, we got a good stream today. We got a fun stream. It's going to be discussing New Year's resolutions. We have an agenda. We've been having some fun, but we do have an agenda today. So I hope everyone's okay with an agenda whilst we kick into high gear on this music remix. Oh shit. Oh, it's techno remix time. Oh my gosh. Ah. Da, da, da. How do I change the can I change the colors? What do I do? Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully that doesn't bother anyone's eyes or anything like that. Um, all right. So we do have an agenda today. The theme of today is New Year's resolutions. We have a topic of the day, New Year's resolutions. Our music is by Game Chops as usual. Thank you, Game Chops. We can recap my Substack. I didn't do a post this week, so we don't have to go over that. We will go over this Vox 2023 in 7 minutes. And we'll also go over a little bit of Public Domain Day. That was like the meme of the week, meme of the beginning of the year to kick things off. And yeah, here's the top New Year's resolutions for 2024. Spoilers, in case you don't have a New Year's resolution yet, it might be here already for you. But that's okay. Um, and um, and yeah, we're also going to look at Groundhog Day because I felt like that fit. And then we're going to have our writer's room where we review stuff in the past year and stuff like that. Sound cool? We all good, folks? We doing good, buddies? All right, cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, all right. So let me see. So let's get the music going again. We are good. Yeah, we are good. There's a lot of exclamation points. I know. I kind of kind of went overboard on that a little bit. Yeah, let's get the music going again. This is courtesy of Game Chops, which is if you want to use Game Chops yourself, they're at Game Chops, and it's available for you to use their music for your own streams and live streams and background music. So I'll give a link back and shout out to Game Chops here. So yeah, music. Cool. And let's see, 2023 in 7 minutes. I can't do 2023 in 7 minutes. Is it too quiet again? Oh, it's quiet again. It's because that other music was too loud. Turn this up. Maybe that's better. It's a little better. Yeah, you don't have to take notes. We'll go over everything, no worries. So yeah, 2023 in 7 minutes. How many people have seen this video? Let me see. 2023. How many people have seen this video? Are y'all familiar with this video? 2023 in 7 minutes. It's a little anxiety inducing. A little bit, because a lot happened in 2023. You didn't see it? Okay, so it's a well edited video. But you know, it's Vox. It's from a kind of progressive standpoint on the news, slightly progressive standpoint. Even though like some people would say it's very progressive, but slightly more progressive than on the news. And yeah, they're known for, Vox is known for doing their explainer videos covering the news. And they did a review for 2023. They did one for 2022, which I remember from last year, and they did another one for 2023 for this year in 7 minutes. And boy, it's jam packed with stuff. So yeah, let's just stroll down memory lane, because before we do New Year's resolutions, maybe it's a little useful to review a little bit of what happened last year and let's all just take a deep breath and process, what's been kind of like a really jam-packed year, and have some time to process that and be like, yeah, that was a crazy year, and maybe we should take it easy on ourselves this year. So let's take a look at 2023 in 7 minutes. Are y'all ready? I can't. I'm not gonna wait for y'all because it's gonna be hard to just wait, because people have to take time to type stuff. But I'm just gonna jump ahead. So let's get started, shall we? Let's do it. And yeah, might be a little intense because of the imagery, because it is the news and all. But yeah, I don't believe there's super content warnings for it. Okay, let's take a look.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. The president has just signed a bill that will end the national emergency declared during the pandemic. Taylor Swift and Beyonce's shows are giving the U.S. economy an actual boost.
Here we come.
Here we come. Here we come. Tell me about 2023,
This summer
ChatGPT.
could be described as the summer of strikes.
It's the
Summer
first
of
official day of the
strikes.
SAG-AFTRA strike.
I think AI is one of the
Ayo.
most important things to be
Ay,
talking
ay,
about.
ay.
You should probably run.
It's actually not bad.
Ice cream's so good.
Ice cream's so good.
Some are even
Ice
calling
cream's
it
so good.
the Twitter killer.
Oh, we gotta kill Twitter.
Reverse it.
Oh,
Mr.
never
Chu,
mind.
does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
I don't know, buddy.
We start in the Middle East. Hamas has launched the biggest attack on Israel
is
in
crazy.
years.
The Israeli military saying over 1,000 people were killed.
We hear the bullets whistling when they pass by.
Intense, yeah.
Hamas say they're holding between 200 and 250 hostages.
We are putting a complete siege on Gaza. We're fighting animals and are acting accordingly.
No one is safe. Nowhere in Gaza is safe.
It is now 90 seconds
90 seconds to midnight, folks.
2023 will go
Clock is
down
ticking.
as the hottest year on record.
It's gonna pretty much everywhere. It's gonna be hot.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Also, let me pause on that for a second, because if you look really closely here,
To Washington, D.C.
I don't know how many of y'all were in the Northeast during this, but based in New York, and this was like footage of the East River, and somebody overlaid some Legend of Zelda like overlays on top of this, and this is literally what it looked like in New York. Is pretty wild. I don't like it. Yeah, it was pretty wild. No good. That's no good. That indeed that expression is correct, Prince Anime. I agree. No good. And maybe I'm gonna like turn off the light switches more often and try to eat vegetarian in more of my meals and stuff like that, as much as I can. But yeah. I already don't own a car, so that's good. Mostly veggies. It's yummy. That's good. It's good for you. It's good for you. It can be tasty. Yeah, more veggies is better. Yeah. All right. And let's see what else. Let's keep going, I guess. Yeah. It's also
The
cheaper.
fires are one of
That's
the
also
worst
true.
natural disasters in Hawaii's
I
history.
mean, of course, meat is going to be cheaper.
The death toll
more
stands at
expensive because it costs more to
115
bake
people.
meat.
This was my home.
Then yeah,
Three
devastation.
protesters
around the
are
world.
under arrest for
Yeah,
interrupting
climate
the action.
protesters, of course.
Southern
Al Gore's
California
back.
is under its first ever
Al Gore's been
tropical
saying it the
storm
whole
watch.
time.
Once in a century,
Al Gore was right, folks. Al Gore was right.
The
Hong Kong.
COP28 team did not deny using climate meetings
Climate talks to
discuss
make
fossil
oil
fuel
deals.
This is really like a
Pretty
fox
wild.
guarding the hen house moment.
Climate
Frankly, most
pledges.
companies
Yeah,
have said
pledges.
that they're
Thanks a
target.
lot. Thanks a lot for a
Don't know how they're gonna
pledge.
get there.
All kind of
Layoffs are
Alright.
sweeping
Yeah, there
corporate
was
America.
corporate layoffs
2 days ago.
My
on
government
TikTok.
will continue to take action to bring down inflation.
I care about the well-being of the people. I care about the well-being of the people. Look, does he not realize what this looks like when he's in this, like when he's literally wearing crown jewels and stuff? Like it just, I don't know. Like no matter what your stances are, it's just the optics are not very good, buddy. Like it just doesn't look good. We're gonna watch out for you. Trust us. You're gonna be fine. I don't trust you. All
Ease
right.
the cost of living.
Bombastic side eye.
A group of orcas appear to be attacking and even
Yeah,
sinking
orcas
some
are
boats.
attacking
Racing
yachts.
against time
Oh
to
yeah,
find
this
that
sub,
missing
yeah.
submersible.
$250,000, a ticket.
Bankman-Fried now faces more than 100 years in prison.
First Republic is now the third
Yeah, the
major bank
banking
to fail
crisis
since
in
March.
March. That was
Murdoch is to
crazy.
step back.
And will hand over the
IRL
reins to
succession.
his son.
The New York Republican is now the 6th lawmaker to ever be expelled
Yeah,
from
this
the House.
guy.
Entire country has been bullying me just because I am a proud gay thief.
The House has been paralyzed without a speaker for nearly 3 weeks.
This is embarrassing.
There have been concerns for months about Senator Feinstein's health.
Look at the candles on that cake. This is the oldest man.
Yeah, look at that. That is a lot of candles. Oh boy. Hey, welcome. Hey, Fantasy 7. Do people like Final Fantasy 7? Do people even remember what Final Fantasy 7 is? Do they? I don't know. It's good. It's good. I don't know. I played as a kid. Anyway. All right, thanks for following Sparkle Sprout. I'm glad you joined. I don't know if you're joining from Geneva stream or you just popped in or whatever, but thanks for joining. This is we go over. Lately, we've been going over a lot of different topics of the week and stuff like that. Hey, what machete. What's up? Thanks for following. I think some people are just following just to make the sound or something like that at this point. I don't know what's happening. And it's working. It's making me dance like a silly monkey for us, Mudita Heart. Duh, dance like a. All right. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But anyway, let's keep it going. We got some news to go over. We're still recapping a whole year to get through. So we're only halfway through this 7-minute thing. So let's keep moving, shall we?
A lie.
String of
Says never surrender.
Surrender.
Okay, that is a picture of him surrendering to Georgia authorities, though, right?
I don't care about politics, bruh.
Politics, bruh.
The U.S. linked the balloon to a vast Chinese military surveillance program.
Oh, they hit it!
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
This was a thing for a
Something
hot
I
minute.
can't discuss in public setting.
And now, NASA's first mission to deliver the largest sample collected from an asteroid to
Asteroid
Earth.
City was a good movie.
Flames and plumes of smoke lit up the sky.
Oh yeah,
in
this
East
thing
Ohio
I totally
after
forgot
a
about,
train
but this was
derailed
like the biggest news in like March or February or something. The train thing in Ohio and like it was a big problem, and then I don't know, the news cycle just kind of cycled it out or whatever, but like, it's a huge thing. Like it's supposed to affect water supplies and stuff or whatever. Like I don't know what we really did about it. I don't know.
Deadliest earthquake that Morocco has suffered in more than 100 years.
The number of people killed in earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has risen to nearly 50,000.
Still under my hashtags
and 4 bridges collapsed.
India's deadliest train crash in decades.
It has been 1 year since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
If Russia stops fighting and leaves Ukraine, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends.
Fighting intensifies between Sudan's armed forces and the rebel Rapid Support Forces.
Over 1,500 pro-Bolsonaro supporters had been arrested after they stormed government buildings in Brasilia.
The situation in Manipur has been tense. The photos confirm news that no parent wants to hear.
A fishing boat sinking with hundreds on board, hundreds of migrants.
Now, more than
missing.
1.7 million Afghans have been told to leave Pakistan.
The Pakistan situation was crazy.
Palestinians are dying in the tens of thousands, but we'll continue to say it is us who are not acknowledging humanity.
And then the Free Palestine protests, of course.
Tens of thousands showing their support for the Palestinian people.
The counter-protests as well. Yes.
The Israel-Hamas war sparking an increase in Islamophobia and anti-Semitism.
Yet another mass shooting in this country.
10 people are dead.
In Mississippi.
Shooting in Louisville, Kentucky.
An elementary school in Nashville.
Ain't no way in the world y'all are trying to ban TikTok and y'all haven't even flinched at changing their gun laws.
And TikTok, yeah, that's the solution.
Memphis police have just released the footage from the death of Tyree Nichols.
Those 5 officers were arrested and charged with second-degree murder.
Former U.S. Marine captured on video putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold.
Affirmative action is gone.
Catholic priests can now bless same-sex.
This was like an underreported thing. Catholic priests can now bless Jesus. There's too many different things happening. Catholic priests can now bless same-sex couples. That's a huge thing that, like, I don't know how many people were talking about it, but it's weird how like now the Catholic Church is like somehow becoming more progressive, and then in parts of the U.S. are becoming even less progressive. It's very strange.
Couples.
6 justices ruled that certain businesses can refuse to serve gay people.
New laws in Uganda mean that anyone having gay sex can be jailed for life.
I got some Bud Lights for us.
Huh? Yeah? Aren't we supposed to vote today? What?
Mexico's Supreme Court has declared loudly and clearly that access
Right,
to
Supreme
abortion
Court.
care is
a human right.
Ohio now marks the 7th state since Roe v. Wade was overturned, where abortion rights supporters prevailed.
It's unfortunate that it's been overturned.
Everything. I want to break every single rule there is.
This is a beacon of hope and possibilities.
I just EGOT.
From one of the box in front.
The color.
Spain wins the World Cup.
I don't pray for results. I just ask that I get the strength to give it my
Athletes.
all.
Israel and Hamas agreeing on a deal that will free a number of hostages.
I still got hope because I know we are still here and we will never quit.
India is on the moon.
Yeah, India was able to land on the moon on near the south pole of the moon, which is the closest to that any country on Earth, literally on the planet Earth, has ever gotten. And also doing it for a much smaller budget too. So yeah, a huge accomplishment for India.
We choose
and for humanity,
to go
for that matter.
back to the moon and then on to Mars, and we're going to do it together.
We are being asked to love the extraordinary species that is humankind and keep it alive. That's all this is.
All right, humanity. Hooray, humanity. All right, humanity. Let's keep humanity alive, folks. Easier said than done. I'm keeping myself alive. I'm doing what I can. I'm trying to keep people I know alive too. I guess that's also a thing. Sure. And you know, much respect and love to all the people out there who are making sure they keep themselves and the people around them as happy and healthy as they can. You know, it's something that we all could possibly wish for in the new year. Yeah. All right. So that was 2023 in 7 minutes. So I don't know. Any takeaways from that? Maybe one of my takeaways from that is that there's Sweden from Minecraft by C418. I don't know how to pronounce it. Do people say C418 or something? I don't know what they say. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of my takeaways from watching the year 2023 in 7 minutes as a recap is that it was a crazy ass year, and that it was hard to process everything, and that I was just kind of making my way from one thing to the next. The declaration of the pandemic no longer being a national emergency, I think was like a step, but it's not completely over, but you know, it's a step, and yeah, you know, more people are going out and doing things and stuff, so that's definitely big. Okay. Oh yeah, Steamboat Willie memes, I guess, will be next. I don't know any other people who have their own takeaways from 2023 in 7 minutes. Any recap stuff we want to do with that for folks who are in the chat. But other than that, maybe we'll just move on to 2023, 2024, and its first memes. Steamboat Willie. I don't know. Let's see. There was somebody who did Steamboat Willie, and you know, 24/7 Steamboat Willie. Somebody's got to do it, right? Oh my gosh, Twitch Boat Willie. All right, public domain day. As our sound recordings from 1923. Oh my god. How many of y'all have seen Steamboat Willie? I guess we could... I actually don't know how many of y'all have seen Steamboat Willie, so we could just stay here for a hot minute and just watch it. Because, I don't know how many of you have watched it. This seems to be one of the more higher resolution transfers of it. And you know, I mean, even though I'm streaming someone else's stream, technically it's public domain, so I like to see them try and stop me. Have y'all been seeing any good Steamboat Willie memes? He's just abusing the cat. I don't think Mickey Mouse would do that anymore. Take that. It doesn't even sound like music at this point. He's just pulling the neck of that goose. Seen bits of it, don't have a ton of patience for silent media. Well, actually, it was the first sound cartoon, so technically it's not silent film. So actually... it's real. I know what you mean. It's like black and white. It's very outdated. Oh look, isn't this great? Look, he's pressing the udders of the pig. That's so clever. This is really dazzling the crowds like of 2024. Hey, look, let's turn that goat. All right. Oh. I don't know. It's not really. It is. I mean, something. Yeah, there is Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is more modern, I guess. Maybe something about this is really old-timey, and I feel like it's so old-timey that it's before my time or whatever. Like they're literally doing Turkey in the Straw. I don't know. Hey, cut these potatoes in this potato bin. Oh, gosh darn it. Heh. Screw it. I'm just gonna cut it half-assed. Heh. Nonsense. Turn me into an icon for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Har 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 har. You piece of junk. Whoa! Mickey's laughing that he just killed that bird. Jeez. Wow. Holy moly. Shout out to shout out to
When you walk away, you don't hear me say please, oh baby, don't simple and clean as the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
And that, oh yeah, and if you don't know, that image was like from an actual like live action. That clip is from an actual live action adaptation stage performance of Kingdom Hearts that was actually done at the Disney theme parks at some point around the time of the release of what's it called, of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, what am I saying? Getting distracted. Yeah, Steamboat Willie. Everyone's just watching Steamboat Willie. There's a whole bunch of memes. I don't know if y'all have seen any memes. Honestly, probably not. Just like people making memes about Steamboat Willie is just kind of like dredged up a lot of like really old timey, like old school YouTube style humor, even. Kind of like really all over the place, kind of bottom of the barrel a little bit. Kind of anybody just making jokes about Steamboat Willie. Let's see me. Sneak peek. Yeah, everybody's doing it. What if they made Steamboat Willie evil? What if they made it into a horror movie? What if they did it with TF2 dubs? What if they... Gosh. Oh yeah, there's a horror game called Infestation 88. There's here's this thing, I guess. He's got a M4 or something. Oh yeah, Corridor Digital. They do special effects stuff. they make viral videos, but here they just straight up uploaded the whole version of Steamboat Willie here. I guess like technically they might. That's what they've been doing historically for a very long time, but like maybe in the past couple days they've like just not bothered to do anything. And technically maybe they just don't have enough legal precedent to like push back on it yet. So yeah, maybe they're just taking their time before they do a sudden like culling of the flock or whatever. Like all the culling of the willies. Yeah. And whoops, Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie. Hey, Mickey Mouse is public now. And then there's this one. This is a meme. I like this one. This one was pretty funny. I like this one. It's ours now. We can do whatever we want. Try and stop me, Disney. It's public domain. It belongs to everyone. So this is like using its own music. Bully Maguire edited in like 2 years.
Tally ho.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently this is a genre of things, I guess. And I think a lot of like old-timey, like early internet memesters, like I saw TF2, like we saw like TF2 edits and stuff. TF2 is from like 15 years ago, and they're doing like my back. My back. So like, you know, yeah, like there's even TF2 edits of Steamboat Willie. It's everybody's getting in on it, having fun with it. I feel like even like doing this style of like YouTube meme video is like pretty outdated. Like people just make original content nowadays. A lot of people don't even bother with doing meme videos anymore. Right, source filmmaker, right, machinima, Gary's mod, even, as it were. Even like the Tobey Maguire is like has more copyright rights to this than like Disney does in this thing. I hope he's getting royalties. Oh yeah, he's definitely giving royalties to him. Yeah, he's all $20 out of these 22,000 views. Boy, I don't know. I could have a higher CPM to that. I don't know. Oh no, Mickey Mouse the horror movie. Just really people just not really being that clever. Oh yeah, there's this game Mouse. We could just show a trailer for this game because it's you know, it's this is an original game. It's not, you know, infringing on copyright, and this is promotional. So let's check out this trailer for Mouse, which is, you know, interesting. So let's check it out. I feel like it takes place in the same universe as Cuphead, you know, kind of. Let's check this out.
I have a feeling this isn't over yet.
I have a feeling this ain't over. Old-timey FPS game. Hand-drawn animation FPS game. Pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed with this. Wow. And then I gave him one of these. Oh, New America. Ooh. Have the Titanic. Oh, dropped the piano on his head. And then I dropped a piano on his head. Then I got him with a Tommy gun. Babe Ruth reference. Nothing like a good old Babe Ruth reference. Honestly, I was expecting more cartoony, kind of like cartoony violent stuff, to be honest. Like stuff like the cartoon TNT or whatever. Coming 2025, wishlist on Steam now. Yeah, I guess Bendy and the Ink Machine is similar too, right? Yeah, we could take a look at that. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Let's take a look at that. Bendy and the Ink Machine trailer. Trailer. Joey Drew Studios? Is that the name? I'm honestly not too familiar. IGN launch trailer, official trailer. I'm assuming it's Joey Drew Studios. Looks official. Let's check out the console trailer, I guess. Oh, Rooster Teeth Games. No captions. Can we get some captions going? Any captions? No captions. Okay, whatever. Let's go more Acme violence. And then I gave him one of these. And then I knocked one of them out of the park.
Alright, Joey. I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
Again, another horror genre style thing.
For the impossible is just human nature.
So first, Joey installs this ink machine over our heads.
At this point, I don't get what Joey's plan is for this company. The animations sure aren't being finished on time anymore.
Oh, Mr. Drew. You are the true architect behind
this is kind of like Scott Cawthon games with,
when do we go home?
Wow. I don't remember any of this.
Finance of Freddy's.
They say he hears everything.
Hey, what's going on?
There's a whole twisted world.
Oh, the ink monster. Let me see, what's it called? There was another one I was thinking of. What's it called? Mickey Mouse and Oswald Rabbit Wii game? What was it called? Disney Epic Mickey, yeah. Disney Epic Mickey trailer. Wow, 13 years ago. Cinematic trailer. This is kind of in that line of things. But after this, we should probably soon get around to talking about New Year's resolutions. I want to help you improve your life to... I want to help you get your life to where you want it to be in by the end of this year.
Time ago,
and or at least tell you what not to do. And we at least help you with some of that. So let's
someone out of his bed.
Oh.
And opened a doorway to my workshop.
Well, what's with that painting? What is this? Look at that. That's creepy. What is that? Gee.
I do not know if the mirror was being mischievous or malicious. Perhaps it knew that the curious intruder had a role to play in my project.
I figured, and one of the most impressive things to me was how they figured out how to do the ear animation.
I was putting
3D.
the finishing touches on my latest creation. A world for things that have been forgotten.
So it's sort of like Disneyland, but it's based on forgotten things.
Satisfied with my progress, I put the magic brush down and retired to my chambers.
And they made a reference to Fantasia with that musical cue there.
Had I known what events would follow, I would have locked away everything. paint.
Mickey
brush,
Mouse is a little
and
rascal,
thinner.
you know. He's a little bit of a rascal. Take a photo of us. Share that on the gram.
I heard the noises and rushed to see what had happened. But I was too late. The world I had created was ravaged. A wasteland. The mysterious intruder was gone. I did not learn his identity. Well, not for a very long time.
Didn't even know who Mickey Mouse was. Oh, there's Steamboat Willie. I got that reference. I got that reference. Let me see. How do I... He's getting teleported. Oh, Mickey's gotten the Ink Dementor. Mickey's gotten caught in the Ink Dementor. So that was wow, 2010. Wow, something to think about. Gamescom 2010. So that was a cinematic trailer. Let's look at the gameplay a little bit. Gameplay trailer.
Peggy
You don't really
7.
see Mickey dealing with like any real conflict most of the time. He's just kind of chilling. I mean, like, I don't know, like in some of his stuff in like his cartoons, he's dealing with stuff. Sometimes Mickey's going through it a little bit, but this is getting back to his roots. It's not. Nowadays, it's kind of like more softened around the edges because of what he represents as a brand to the company. Wow, he's got some moves. There's Oswald. Wow, this is the Nintendo Wii graphics, by the way, and you can use the Wii mode to like shoot the brush, just shoot paint at the stuff, shoot paint at the. There's platforming segments. I mean, like, people had a lot of criticisms of how the gameplay was in this game, but I think it had a lot of really interesting ideas. Like, you can't say they weren't thinking a lot of cool stuff. And this was, surprisingly, you might not know this, but the creative director for this was none other than the creator of Deus Ex, if I recall correctly. So, let me see, Disney Epic Mickey. I believe that's right. It should be Warren Spector, right? So Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, character created by Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks, originally owned by Universal Pictures, and it was directed by Warren Spector, who collaborated with Walt Disney Animation Studios on the project. Looks good design-wise, right? Warren Spector is an American role-playing and video game designer, director, writer, producer, and production designer. He is known for creating immersive sim games, which give players a wide variety of choices in how to progress. He was like probably one of the more original immersive sim developers. And since then, like games like Dishonored have like kind of taken up the mantle after that. But like yeah, Deus Ex at Looking Glass, Ultima Underworld, System Shock, Thief, The Dark Project. Speaking of Mickey being a thief, I guess he was literally designed by the designer of Thief, and also the now canceled System Shock 3. He's currently working on a new immersive sim based on original intellectual property. So yeah, Warren Spector, very cool, very cool, very very cool. Okay. So little stupid YouTube recommendations there. But yeah, alright, so 2023 in 7 minutes. And we had some Bully McGuire. And this will be shared after this stream, so if you want to check out all the links and stuff afterwards, you can check it out. Let me just share that on here, Warren Spector. So yeah, and if you want to follow more of this, you can follow it on my Discord. Seems like now is a good time as any to plug the Discord. And we have a pretty active Discord. It's small. But the people who are on there are pretty active, and we share a lot of thoughts and things like memes and movies, and there's a lot of movie streaming and TV shows and stuff. So if you feel like joining, feel free. Here it is. Here's the Discord link. It expires after 7 days, so I hope you hop on board as soon as you can. But no pressure, no pressure. All right, so let's see what else. Let's see, is there any happy broadcast updates? I don't believe there is. Happy broadcasts. Me in 2023. Okay, here we go. Best mental health news of 2023. Let's do that. Researchers at Stanford University were able to treat depression in patients for whom standard treatments have failed by reversing abnormal brain signals with magnetic stimulation. That's pretty good news. I think that's pretty good. A new study shows that listening to or practicing music can prevent brain aging and cognitive decline as we age by stimulating the production of gray matter in key brain areas. Alright, so get some magnets or you know, learn an instrument or listen to some music. So that's cool, yeah. Instrument's pretty good. Is the music drowning me out? Oh, that's too loud. My bad. Yeah, the levels are always different on all these different things. I think it's better now. Is this okay? And feel free to use too loud or too loud as a shorthand, but yeah, whatever is fine. Okay, living near water, let me know if it's better now. Living near water, whether it's the ocean, a lake, or a river, it isn't just nice scenery. Studies show there are many health benefits like less stress, more creativity, and a general sense of happiness. Alright. Hey, alright. We got a good levels, good audio, get some music, get some water going. Yale University's most popular class in over 300 years, designed to increase our own happiness, the science of well-being, is available free online for adults and teens. I believe I did find the link for this. What's it called? Yale University. Yale University. The Science of Happiness. Yes, I believe this is it. Science of Well-Being. Here we go. If you want to sign up, I believe this is the link. $4.6 million, 4,629,857 already enrolled. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that great? Misconceptions about happiness, why our expectations are so bad, how we can overcome our biases, stuff that really makes us happy. Let's actually get to the stuff that makes us happy after learning all the stuff that we think are not helping us. We think that are not helping us, and then etc. Alright, wire yourself and do a final assignment. Alright, cool. All it takes is a couple hours every week, and you'll be happier. Sounds good to me. So yeah, the science of well-being. I think if I just link it like that, it should work. There we go. You want it, it's there. And the science of well-being. Here we go. So it's right there. And there we go. Alright, and the trial of a 4-day work week in the UK, the largest of its kind in the world, revealed a significant decrease in rates of anxiety, stress, and illness among the staff who participated in the trial. Wow, that's so strange. That's fascinating and encouraging that it's not just anxiety, it's not just stress, but it's also even illness, like physical health is like improved by a 4-day work week. And you know, why stop there? Why not a 3-day work week? Why not a 2-day work week? You know? Or like, what is that book called? The 4-Hour Work Week? The 4-Hour Work Week. That's another thing. The 4-Hour Work Week. Now that's something. How could you 10x your per hour output? And then that was popular in the post-recession era, self-help, personal development. It's also the 4-Hour Body. Oh, it's also by the same guy, okay. 4-Hour Body. An uncommon guide to rapid weight loss, incredible sex, and becoming superhuman. Nah, I'm okay. I don't need rapid weight loss or incredible sex or becoming superhuman. I think I'm good the way I am. I don't need that. Who needs that? Oh god. Those things are overrated, I think. The 4-Hour... What else does he have? The 4-Hour Chef? He's just trying to do everything in 4 hours. I think a lot of things take a lot longer than 4 hours. I think his books take longer than 4 hours to read also. But yeah, I understand. It's like in a week or whatever. If you crossed Jason Bourne with Julia Child, you'd end up with Tim Ferriss. Oh my gosh. The 4-Hour Body. Alright, let's keep working. A new poll shows that adults who regularly say hello to multiple people in their neighborhood have higher well-being than those who greet fewer or no neighbors. That sounds pretty nice. Yeah. That'd be really good to be able to have that for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are scared of that sort of thing. New study, and I try to say hi to my neighbors when I can. I've been trying to, I think after pandemic I definitely tried to do that a lot more often. And I think people seem to be more open to it too. New study from Finland finds that dropping into a park or other urban green spaces 3 or 4 times a week can cut people's chances of taking medications for anxiety or depression by 1/3. Wow, 33%. That's huge. Wow, wow, wow. Just 3 or 4 times a week, man. Wow, park or urban green space. An 85-year Harvard study found the #1 thing that makes us happy. It's not wealth or fame or working harder. Positive relationships, even just one, keep us happier, healthier, and help us live longer. High fives for love. How do I do it? High fives, y'all. And you know, I try to care about people where I can and stuff like that. I think it's important for people to care about each other in a positive way. Australia has become the first country in the world to legalize the use of psychedelics to treat mental health conditions such as depression and PTSD. And I'm pretty sure, to be clear, when they say that, they probably mean in a clinical setting and with like supervisors and stuff like that, and there's like, you know, you're with a trained professional and there's a certain dosage and stuff. It's not like, hey, I'm just gonna do it on my own from a guy I bought it from off the street, and like, you know, it's a little different. It's very, yeah. I'm already on my way over to Australia right now. Yeah, exactly, Prince Anime. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, this was a good one. Yeah, mental health news of 2023. I don't even know what emoji that guy is, but it just seems funny to me. Packing my bags. Let's see. More than half of U.S. high school students will be required to take a personal finance course before graduation, covering important topics for their financial future. That seems pretty useful. That seems pretty useful. I feel like there are a lot of problems. I think like that's actually a big trend now with Gen Z and a lot of young people. People are like, I don't know how to do my taxes, but I learned that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh boy, seen a lot of memes like that on TikTok, or like reposted from TikTok. I don't watch TikTok. Me in 2023, me in 2024. Hey. And speaking of this, I think this is going to be a big part of like some New Year's resolutions. Let's see, scientists have discovered the first new antibiotics in over 60 years using artificial intelligence. The new compound can kill a drug-resistant bacterium that kills thousands worldwide every year. Wow, holy moly. Using robots to cure people. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, it's a drug-resistant Staph A infection. So have you ever heard of Staph A? That's Staphylococcus aureus. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, Staph A is pretty serious. Having an optimistic outlook can add extra years to one's life, according to research. The 26 years long study shows that women who reported a positive outlook on life were likelier to live past 90. Just think more positive. But I don't know. I think there is something to it. Something that's still based in reality, as opposed to being like, there is such thing as like being pessimistic beyond what reality is even saying. Like people just often tend to say like, oh, I'm just being realistic when they're being cynical or pessimistic. But sometimes like it's actually realistic to say, well, I actually don't know if it can actually lead to a positive thing, and there could be positive things that could come from things. And then it leads you to be more open to possibilities. Then you start trying things out more. Then you're like, oh, maybe I should try this thing out. And then next thing you know, that becomes a new habit where it leads to more good things in your life and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, it's really something. I think that's so. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff this time around. So I think that's a good way to transition into New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I generally agree with the sentiment, but it's hard to tell how much of it is based in reality. Yeah, I mean, like, I think, like, being in tune, I think part of emotional intelligence, you know, EQ, is not just being in touch with other people's emotions, but being in touch with your own thoughts and feelings and instincts and judgments. And, like, I don't know if it's based on a rational intellectual thing, that's one aspect, but sometimes you just have a gut feeling, and like if you've like been so used to like, I don't know, for whatever reason, sometimes people aren't used to like trusting their gut, whatever they believe in. Like, this is actually what I believe, this is what I think is true, and I'm, you know, once you start denying, I don't know, once you're more in touch with like what you believe is true, you know, like you can feel more in touch with, I don't know, a sense of reality that way. And, you know, so much of our society, like schools or, you know, even sometimes family members or whatever, can like can deny us our reality and stuff. So, but yeah, being in touch with our own reality, being true to ourselves, and you know, we're just sitting in a cafe somewhere having a tea is like a moment I have, and just like thinking on my own, journaling, being alone with my thoughts and writing them all out, get all the bad stuff out, be still, and get to the deeper stuff, you know. That kind of stuff is really priceless, and yeah, it can be easy to get lost with all that other stuff. Hopefully we'll have some time for that journaling kind of stuff today, because I hope that can be a practice we can adopt for the new year, and for this stream, and for a way to kick off the new year. So yeah. So okay, this was cool. So happy broadcast. Good job. Good job. Happy broadcast. Yeah. Give it up for happy broadcast. Clap, clap, clap. All right, clap, clap, clap. Let's see. Clap. Let's see. Why is this? Enabled is off? Why is enabled off? What the heck? Let me see. Hearts. Oh, there's an ad break. There we go. We got some heart emojis. Celebrate. Let's get some celebration emojis. Is there no heart emojis? Ignore duplicates. Oh, dude, let's not ignore duplicates. Let's include duplicates for sure. There we go. Spam it up. Spam it up for those of you who are not on ad break right now. Spam it up. Okay, I will take a quick break to get some water during the ad break, so I'll be right back. And then when I get back, Mudita Clyde, I don't know why that's not working. That's gotta figure that out. Yeah, when we get back, let's do New Year's resolutions. So yeah, we'll be right back from after this short break. So see you soon. Bye.
the country are making their New Year's resolutions, including me. CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, takes a look at what people are hoping to achieve.
Well, it's New Year's and Americans start making their resolutions. So we asked people in the polling, what are you resolving to do? Big numbers for those who are making resolutions: improve their health, exercise, spend more time with the people they care about, and related, diet and eat better. Now, not everybody is making resolutions. The ones who are tend to be younger. Maybe the older folks realize that a lot of us just won't keep them anyway. All right, now we also asked people, what would you give as the resolutions for America? What should Americans resolve to do? And that comes out as take more time off and spend less time online. Interestingly, more people say others should spend less time online than they themselves will. But, you know, maybe it's a little bit of advice that they themselves ought to take. And then work harder, but very few people say they should get more online connection. So all those relate together. It's people want to get away a little bit more, take more time off. Now, overall, it's the holiday season. Will people be talking to each other? You're gathering with family, you're celebrating New Year's. Well, yeah, but very few people say that they're going to be talking politics. Most of us are going to be trying to avoid it. Having said that, as we all gather and celebrate, let me show you this one. People do think that Americans can get along. A majority say that. Yes, they feel that politics divides us, but you still have that majority who look for and might find that connection. So, Chanel, one last thing. Let me show you as people look ahead to the new year. We're going to show you that most people, more people, are hopeful than discouraged. And that's how we'll ring in 2024. Chanel, back to you.
Okay, thanks so much.
Every day, I am going to do one thing I have never done before. That, my friends, is my New Year's resolution.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah?
Mine is to pilot a commercial jet.
That's a good one, too, Phoebes. Now all you have to do is find a plane load of people whose resolution is to plummet to their deaths.
Ring in the new, a Sunday morning on New Year's Eve. Here again is Jane Pauley.
Every new year offers the promise of a new you, the person you'd become if only you could just stick to those all too easy to make New Year's resolutions. Easier said than done, as our Morocca knows only too well.
The clock is ticking down once again to a new year, and millions of Americans are right now making promises they probably won't keep.
Once again, getting into shape was the #1 New Year's resolution.
Well, if you haven't already given up on your New Year's resolution to try to eat healthier, listen, I have faith in you out there.
And if your New Year's resolution was to become rich, well, it's not too late.
Studies show most New Year's resolutions are bound to fail. But did you know that we've been failing at them for thousands of years?
Even if we go very far back in history, we can find people trying to kind of orchestrate a fresh start at the New Year's through resolutions.
Candida Moss is a historian and professor of theology at the University of Birmingham. She says annual attempts at self-improvement are about as old as the celebrating of New Year's itself.
The ancient Babylonians had a big celebration, almost 2 weeks long, where they celebrated the new year around springtime in March or April and would make resolutions. And they were
All right, I'm back. Hello, hello. All right, I'm back. Yeah, two pretty cool videos. In the middle of the second one. This first one had a lot of interesting takeaways. Yeah, top resolutions: improve health, exercise, more time with people you care about, dieting and healthier eating. And then other people take more time off because I feel like maybe we see other people spend too much time working. We see people spend too much time online. We see people not working hard enough. But also, we want people to have more online connections. Interesting. And I think connections is really an important thing. It's more about like they want to see the people around them connect more and be accomplish more. But for ourselves, we're just
Also
focused
ask
on
people.
things that feel like, I don't know, more physical, and I don't know, also spending more time connecting too. So it's a lot of physical health and a lot of connecting. So social. So that really does tie into like what Happy Broadcast was saying, right? Like, um, social relationships and stuff are what lead to longevity, and yeah, physical health is also very important to us. And then yeah, sometimes talking about politics and stuff, like we're just more focused on. I think in the past we would get caught up in talking about politics, but nowadays I think people have understood that like there's no way I'm gonna convince you. You're not gonna convince me, and I just want to preserve our relationship and stuff. As family members and friends at a family gathering or something. It's just not worth talking about politics anymore. And I don't know. It's just more drama in our lives. It just hurts the relationship. So, hey, what up, Backlog Cabin? How's it going? Shout out to Backlog Cabin. Shout out to Backlog Cabin. What up, 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 what up? Let me see if I could do some music real quick. Sound alerts. Happy New Year. Happy New Year indeed. Yes, indeedy doody. Happy New Year. Let me see. What do I want to play? I'm gonna play this as your music for some reason. I don't know why. Backlog Cabin. Thanks for joining Backlog Cabin. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, this stream is about New Year's resolutions, so I'm gonna try and help people. We're gonna go over like a lot of like typical New Year's resolutions, then like what to avoid doing to avoid failing your New Year's resolutions, and what the things you can do that can help encourage resolutions to work out and stuff. Yeah, hope you had a good New Year. Yeah, great, great. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah. So Happy New Year. New Year, new us. Um, we did go over this 2023 in 7 minutes video by Vox, and there was a lot going on in this past year, to say the least. You just summarize it all here. Blah blah blah. A lot of crazy stuff, but we made it, and it's a lot to process all that. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, and just living our lives, and um, going through the day to day can be challenging enough. No need to like, I don't know, just like that was one of the takeaways I had from it is that it's just hard to like process all the crazy stuff in the world, and sometimes just being in a world in a particular place and time that's at peace despite the world being in a crazy place can be a real blessing and stuff like that in a lot of ways. A good convo at work today about narrative psychology. Oh, that sounds fascinating. Yeah, which one's narrative psychology again? Yeah, resolutions coincide with the subject. Yeah, is narrative psychology the one where it's like based around like the narratives you tell yourself about the past influence your mental health and stuff like that, or your narratives you tell yourself about the future and stuff like that. Yeah, narrative psychology. The self as a story. Wow. And storytelling and neuroscience. Interesting. Yeah. Resolution. Yeah, this is really important. Yeah, narrative therapy. Oh, I recognize this guy. Change your story, change your life. Rewriting our stories. You know what? This might also be a good thing to dive into a little bit. How to narrate your life story. Oh, school life, 5 minutes. This should be good. So, yeah, let's add this to the queue. Let's add this here. Let's add this to the queue here. And then, New Year's. TED. Let's see how to talk about New Year's resolutions. Let's try this. I'm not sure what this is, but you know, Psych to Go does some interesting stuff. Let's try this, but you know, I'm not sure what that is. Actually, TEDx might be copyrighted, or it might do a DMCA or whatever. It's not necessarily being able to change everything, but it helps guide yourself to address who you are and where you plan to go, albeit acknowledging who you have been. I mean, I'm literally working on a memoir right now, so I'm literally trying to tell a story about my life, and I've literally been struggling with certain parts of that story I've been trying to tell. So, yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, uh, yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, I think this should be good for today. This should be good. Narrative psychology. Let's have even more of that. So yeah, let's continue with this and continue with our cue.
Small. So pay off like small debts. And they would make sort of small vows about better behavior. And the Romans would do the same thing.
In
Share your ideas on
46
writing, let me know.
BC,
Yeah,
Julius
sure.
Caesar created
Sure,
a new
absolutely.
Roman calendar that started the new
Yeah,
year on
that'd
the
be
first
great.
day of January. January was named for the Roman god Janus,
It's kind of a
whose
lot
two
to edit
faces
right now.
look
I have to
forward
get it to a certain
and
point.
back.
I'm gonna like release different parts of it on my Substack and stuff, so I'll probably like if I could ping you when I release stuff on Substack, maybe I could ping you if that's okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess we'll keep going.
And that's really important for how
Forward
we
and back.
think about New Year's as a kind of taking stock and starting again.
Were these kind
Forward
of
and back.
traditions about making the people happy or making the gods happy?
These are primarily about making the gods happy. And that's really what New Year's
and
is
listen a
about.
lot.
It's a kind
Physical
of
practice both
supernatural
good,
spring
yeah.
cleaning.
Yeah, I feel like
Over the century,
bouncing off other people for that narrative is, yeah, I guess it's literally like working collaboratively on like working through people's narratives and stuff, narrative psychology and stuff. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, fantastic.
traditions changed. For many in the West, New Year's lost much of its religious significance. The advent of electricity helped turn the celebration into a nighttime affair, complete with champagne toasts and midnight kisses. But through it all, the ritual of the New Year's resolution remains.
In only a few days now, this year will be over and a new one will begin. Mo Rocca and Nancy Giles share some New Year's resolutions.
And back in 2008, my friend and colleague Nancy Giles and I publicly acknowledged our own resolutions. How much do I love New Year's resolutions? I've had the same 3 for the last 9 years. We got together 15 years later to see how they held up. Number 1, learn to speak Spanish fluently. Number 2, read the Bible cover to cover. I just can't get past Leviticus. And 3, complete a back handspring unassisted. It is weird to look back at this stuff, and I did have the same resolutions over and over and over again.
Those are such noble resolutions and that you stick to it. So how's the Spanish going?
Así.
Well-
I never quite, and I have not been to un gimnasio for a long time, so the back handspring, I don't know that it's ever going to happen now.
Wouldn't it be better
Second
to
time this
approach
week.
our
Yeah,
New Year's
Mo
hopes
Rocca
very,
is
very
interesting.
quietly?
I don't
So
know
that
why
we're
the
all
name Mo
less
Rocca is so
humiliated when
familiar.
we don't get there? I try to make my resolutions more specific, realistic, doable. Take salsa lessons.
Hey.
Throw out more paper.
Whoa, that's a
I
lot
was
of paper.
worried. I was sure I was going to say a lot of things that down the line I hadn't done, but kind of being cool and being content with one's life and living quietly, I can do that.
So
and
you-
I can still do that.
What grade would you give yourself on those resolutions?
Yeah, I'd say maybe a B, maybe B minus. The paper thing is still really, but I'm working on it.
What kinds of resolutions are more likely to succeed?
Small resolutions. And a psychologist will tell you small baby steps. Don't revolutionize your life just
Oh, the Daily
overnight.
Show? Huh.
New Year's is arguably the most optimistic holiday, and New Year's resolutions, succeed or fail, have a lot to do with that. After all, there's no chance you'll achieve a goal if you never set one in the first place.
I think everyone struggles
Oh, you need
with,
to just start-
just
set
the
a
problem
goal
of
in
not living
general.
up to the person that they want to be. And funnily enough, the whole system is based on the idea that you'll inevitably fail, but it doesn't matter because there's always next year.
But sometimes some things are just good to shoot for and keep in mind, you know?
Cheers.
Happy
Then
New
if
Year.
you do partial credit, you know, you get a C or something, you can bring that grade up to an A by next year or whatever. Wow, yeah. You can just keep trying at it, you know, it's not like you get a failing grade in life or whatever. You know, yeah, it's just nice to shoot for things sometimes. How to narrate your life story. This is School of Life.
At moment-
I own a book from Alain de Botton from the School of Life. I read it. It's called Essays in Love. I read it back when I was in my mid-20s, and he wrote it while he was 24. And then I just got another book of his recently from Barnes and Noble. So yeah, I'm a fan. So let's check out How to Narrate Your Life Story by School of Life. Alain de Botton is one of the creators of the School of Life. So let's check it out. Yeah.
Moments of sorrow and exhaustion, it's only too easy to look back over the years and feel that our lives have, in essence, been meaningless. We take stock of just how much has gone wrong, how many errors there have been, how many unfulfilled plans and frustrated dreams we've had. We may feel like the distraught, damned Macbeth, who, on learning of his wife's death, exclaims at a pitch of agony that man is a cursed creature who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Okay, that's a lot, Macbeth. Macbeth needs to chill out. Macbeth sounds like he needs to go on vacation or something. Maybe you could use a little more music, go, you know, learn an instrument, go by the seaside. What was the other stuff they said in Happy Broadcast? Go to some parks and be around urban green space 3 or 4 times a week, you know? Yeah, Macbeth, you need to chill out, buddy. Oh my gosh. He's not doing well. What else? You need to take a positive attitude, Macbeth. Or maybe he just needs he needs like magnetic whatever. He needs to take this Yale University course. We just went over this earlier in the stream. That's why I'm mentioning it. Macbeth needs to chill out.
No life can avoid an intermittently high degree of sound and fury. The question is whether it must also ultimately signify nothing. As Macbeth's lines hint, this will depend on who is telling it. In the hands of Shakespeare's bracingly termed idiot, the story of a life may well turn into unintelligible and dispiriting gibberish. But with sufficient compassion and insight, we may equally be able to make something different and a great deal more meaningful and redemptive out of the same material. The difference between despair and hope is just a different way of telling stories from the same set of facts. Only a small number of us ever self-consciously write our autobiographies. It's a task we associate with celebrities and the very old. But it is, in the background, a universal activity. We may not be publishing our stories, but we are writing them in our minds nevertheless. Every day finds us weaving a story about who we are, where we're going, and why events happened as they did. Many of us are strikingly harsh narrators of these life stories. We hint to ourselves that we've been morons from the beginning.
Morons from the beginning. I'm a moron. Yeah. I mean, this is hitting me pretty hard. Considering I've been working on my basically my autobiography. But yeah. I gotta work on this attitude.
We've stuffed up big time. It's been one.
It's very easy to be self-defeating because, like, you know, at some points in life you're reflective on your past, and like it's easy to draw certain kinds of narratives to explain why certain things happen the way they did, or like why certain things are, you know, dissatisfying or frustrating or whatnot. But after a certain point, there's like another way to draw that narrative and another way to draw your narrative into the future, write your narrative into the future. So anyway, I keep interrupting along the baton, but yeah, I figured out where it came from. You know, yeah.
Disaster after another. That's how we go about narrating, especially late at night, when our reserves of optimism run dry and the demons return. Yet there is nothing necessary about our self-flagellating methods of narration. There could always be ways of telling very different, far kinder and more balanced stories from the same set of facts. You could give your life story to Dostoevsky, Proust or Jesus and come out with a rather bearable, moving, tender and noble story. Good, by which is meant fair-minded and judicious narrators, know that lives can be meaningful even when they involve a lot of failure and humiliation. Mistakes don't have to be absurd. They can be signs of how little information we have on which to base the most consequential decisions. Messing up isn't a sign of evil. It's evidence of what we're up against. Not all the disasters are wasted anyway. Maybe we spent a decade not quite knowing what we wanted to do with ourselves professionally. Maybe we went through a succession of failed relationships that left us confused and hurt a lot of people. But these experiences weren't meaningless because they were necessary to later development and maturity. We needed the career crisis to understand our working identities. We had to fail at love to fathom our hearts. No one gets anywhere important in just one go. We have to forgive ourselves the horrors of our first drafts. The good storyteller recognizes, contrary to certain impressions, that the central character of a story isn't always responsible for every disaster or triumph. We're never the sole authors of everything that happens to us. Sometimes it really will be the economy, our parents, the government, our enemies, or simply the tragic dimensions of human existence that are to blame. Good narrators don't always over-personalize. Every day, we are induced to narrate a bit more of our life story to ourselves. We explain why there's pain, why we forgot to seize a chance, and maybe why we are in an unhappy situation. But all this doesn't need to be a tale told by an idiot signifying nothing. It can be a tale told by a kind, intelligent soul signifying rather a lot. Like almost every life story, it is in truth a tale of a well-intentioned, flawed, partially blind, self-deceived, but ultimately dignified and quite good human being, struggling against enormous odds, sometimes on a good day, succeeding just a little in a few areas.
Ah, great. Hey, Large Sloth Lemur, how's it going? Hey, shout out. Oh my gosh, you got blocked. What happened? Wait, I don't even. How did you even. Oh, spamming emotes? I told people to spam emotes. What happened? Oh my gosh. It's pretty sensitive. You gotta be nice to it. You gotta be nice to Streamlabs bot. It's very sensitive. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining, Large Sloth Lemur. Oh man, we got a crowd going. I am the rule breaker. You will not contain me. All right, hearts. Let's spam some emojis. When Streamlabs spams emojis, it's okay though. And don't forget commands, folks. All right, don't forget those commands. Easy, Mudita Heart. Don't get yourself banned. I'm the streamer. How could I be banned? That's a lot of emotes. Let me see. So let's see. How do we? Okay. Worst failures at New Year's resolution. Let's see. How do we not do this? The worst New Year's resolution. This is. I have no idea what these are. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest. This is a podcast. Breaking Beard. Biggest mistakes. How to fail your New Year's. Let's learn what not to do. This is like a inspirational guy. Doesn't have a check mark. I don't know. Let's just check it out. He's a. How big is his channel? 86,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. 19 years old. All right. Let's see. Let's see what you got to say, buddy.
Those goals.
That's a lot. Ever since I heard this guy that this idea, your half your brain secretly constructs a dream and shows it to your other half. Realize we all have the potential to make cool stories. Yeah, that's interesting, huh? I mean, it's really fascinating. I mean, maybe we don't. Maybe we remember a lot more than we give ourselves credit for, and like our conscious minds are only processing a certain window of like information at any given moment, but our subconscious is like probably doing tons of stuff. Like we can't even process all the stuff that's going on in our bodies and our even just physically and stuff, much less psychologically and everything. Yeah, it's a lot of information. You kind of need that to happen, otherwise, like it'd be too much. Okay, let's check this out.
And there's a certain reason for that. There are certain mindset strategies that you need to adopt in order to stay committed to your goals for 2024. And in this video, I'm going to explain those to you. But first, we need to talk about something, and that is this whole new year, new me mentality that I'm sick of hearing. New year, new me is that same phrase that you hear every year, and it quickly fades within the first month. People follow the crowd of this new year, new me mentality and don't realize that they're going to fail for this reason alone. There isn't a need to wait until a certain date to start something. It doesn't change the significance of it. The calendar year is just a concept. There's no relative difference between December 1st and January 1st. If you have some idea that you want to improve your life, just start there. Having this mindset of putting things off until a certain date or waiting until the new year so you can have a clean slate just shows that this problem in your life doesn't mean much to you. Because once you put in this idea of changing...
Okay, I'm this doesn't feel right. Okay, here we go. Veritasium. Here we go. And Wired. Let's do this. Let's do these. This one's 5 minutes, this one's 10 minutes. Let's add other to the queue. Alright, here we go. Wired.
Evidence suggests that within a week, 25% of us have failed on our resolutions. A month later, half of us have. And then you've got those annoyingly persistent 25 or 30% that seem to carry it on for years.
Okay,
and we've been doing this research for decades. And the big revolution we have now is people tend to do what they enjoy and not what they don't enjoy. You're welcome for decades of research for something as simple as that. I'm Dr. Amanda Rebar. I'm Associate Professor of Psychology. I'm here to help you make...
I enjoy eating these hazelnuts. while watching YouTube videos and making fun of 19-year-old YouTubers. I mean, clearly he's like killing it because like he has 86,000 subscribers, so I have no right to criticize him. So maybe he does have a lot of stuff figured out. I don't know. So I have no right to. I don't really. I don't really get much out of like criticizing, you know, random guy that never did anything wrong to me. So you know, he's perfectly fine if he's doing that.
Sense of New Year's
let's
resolutions.
try to work on our washed up lives as adults.
Resolutions are really different from habits, but they don't have to be. Resolutions are self-initiated, plan to change, whereas habits are how we do things day to day. Habits tend to last the long term, whereas resolutions tend to fade out. To make resolutions that work, you need to focus on the behavior rather than the outcome. You need to make sure it fits within your life and you're not forcing yourself to do something. I mean, you need to find a way that it's satisfying, fun, or easy, ideally all three.
So let's start here with behavior change.
When we talk about behavior, really we think about it in two different ways. We think of the initiation, so deciding to do that behavior, and execution. So once you decide to do something, how do you...
What is happening? Oh my God. Hey, welcome Raiders. All right. Yeah. Welcome. This is crazy. I just got...
And his name is John C.
Interrupted me. Yeah, spam more music, spam more sound alerts. Oh my gosh. Welcome Raiders. This is crazy. I just got raided by Geneva Lee earlier today. Now I'm getting raided by Calamity Nolan. Welcome. How are you doing, Calamity Nolan? Nolan, what were you streaming? You were streaming Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. Wow, awesome. Yeah, that game looks pretty cool. You know, let's even take a look at that, I think. Hope things are going well over there. Yeah, Calamity Nolan is a buddy who's like in the games community in New York, and I don't know where they are now. I just know them from New York, from my time in New York, and let me see. They stream a lot of like kind of like action games, and like some of it's sort of retro, like stuff like Pokemon. Some of it's sort of like more modern, but like I don't know, like Bayonetta. A lot of Switch games actually. Yeah, Bayonetta, a game about good mother. Cool. New game on stream tonight. Awesome. Calamity Nolan. Let me see if I can even find the channel here. I think this is a cool thing to do. Okay, so this is Calamity Nolan's channel. So yeah, Switch games, you know, baby Bayonetta. It's very weird how like they made this version of Bayonetta where she's a little kid, but like Bayonetta is known for being like this adult woman and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, they're branching out, I guess. And Bayonetta is also in Smash Brothers. It was even in the Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U, I believe. Wait, is that true? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, Detective Pikachu, daddy issues, nice. Gotta, you know, it's the internet. Detective Pikachu. Is it voiced by Ryan Reynolds? Switch games. Yeah, is it a lot of Switch games? I don't know how you would characterize what you play. Switch games, Nintendo games, speed runs. I think like Sonic, I think I've seen you play. Challenge runs, critical plays. Nice. Critical plays as well. Awesome. Yeah, here's Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like Detective Pikachu is like, you know, it's a franchise that goes back to like, you know, our generation from growing up. And then like Mario and Rabbids is sort of like XCOM meets Mario. So it's like kind of like our franchises growing up, just like reaching another like modern version of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a variety streamer myself, honestly. Like right now, I've been doing a lot of like deep dive streams and stuff. So like I do stuff based on like holidays and YouTube videos on that, or a lot of videos on on you know, I'm a variety streamer. Sometimes I do games, but a lot of the stuff lately has been like YouTube videos and topics and things like that. Detective Pikachu. Hey, you got the stuff. Hey, Lickitung, you got the stuff. I don't trust him. I don't trust that Meowth as far as I can throw him. Yeah, what are critical plays, by the way? I was actually wondering that myself, but I didn't want to seem like, I don't know, maybe I didn't want to seem like I didn't know what that meant. But yeah, what are critical plays? That's a good question. Critical plays is replaying games while analyzing their themes and design. Yeah, I guess like it is pretty hard to do a critical play of a game that like you're playing for the first time because you're getting your first initial reaction. If anything, the first time you played is just a reaction. So it makes sense. And it's probably like for retro games is probably more common for that. I don't know what I'm basing that on actually when I say that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, critical. So like a let's play mashed with a critique. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's pretty useful. Yeah, I think I like that kind of genre a lot. I should check that out more. And if you want to check that out more, check out Calamity Nolan. So yeah, I already gave a shout out. And yeah, thanks for joining. We got a crowd going here a little bit. And also, if you need to like hydrate, bio break, fuel up, defuel, like you know, what have you, whatever euphemism for biological processes or just taking a nap or whatever, you know, feel free to do that, Nolan. You're streaming for who knows how long. And thanks for rating. Feel free to chill for a bit, but you know, thanks for chatting a little bit, and feel free to take a break and all that. So yeah, we're just going over how to do our New Year's resolutions and stuff. So yeah, feel free to hang out, and thank you, Raiders, for joining. So if you want to get a head start on your New Year's resolutions, let's learn how to really do it well and all that. I got my Mountain Dew, my G Fuel, my Hot Pockets, and my toilet, and the toilet all at arm's reach. And you will need all of them. If that's what you got, you're gonna need them all. Oh my man, I haven't drank Mountain Dew in a long time. Yo, Lars Lemur got censored again. Oh, I don't even know what he got censored for that time. Was it the holy shit or was it the ready as you're banned again? No. Just timed out for a second. That's all. That's all, Lars Lemur. Oh my gosh. It's not that big a deal. I mean, it is. You want a ban counter. The thing is, like, sometimes we're on Twitch and like sometimes I play like a game like Pokemon trading card game or Five Nights at Freddy's, and we do sometimes get a younger crowd sometimes. So you know, I swear too and stuff like that. I try to like avoid excessive swearing and stuff. That's fine, but like yeah, I kind of get like not just like not excessively doing it, and like we get a younger crowd sometimes. So that's why I leave it on. That's why I don't take it off or whatever. And also sometimes people just spam it and stuff. So I don't want that to happen. So but yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, it's good to filter. Yeah, we like to keep it light here. Like, yeah, it's banning you again. Blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Cool. 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 All right. Cool. As long as we're all cool, let's keep learning how to break our New Year's resolutions immediately. Any percent fail run of our New Year's resolutions. All right, let's learn this.
You do that. My favorite example of that is getting in the car and deciding to go to work. That's the initiation, and execution is maybe the route you take. So the more we go through life, the more.
Let me see, like, hold on. I don't know why I just thought of this. I have a short attention span, maybe, but like, fast video game fails. Fastest way to die ever in a game. Oh man, I don't even see the stuff I'm looking for. Ah, whatever. Oh, Action Kid's doing Taiwan. That's cool. Oh, he's in Taipei. Oh, that's awesome. Nice. Dumb Ways to Die. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Anyway. Fastest game over. There we go. Fastest way to game over. Fastest game over. Quickest game overs ever. 4 minutes. We could add this to the queue. So, like, if you really want to avoid the worst possible scenarios, let's avoid these quickest game overs ever. A funny YouTube video would be fail all my New Year's resolution speedrun. Search fastest game over. It can be done for any game. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's break the ice a little bit. Let's break the ice. Let's keep this a little casual. Let's watch this first and get it out of our systems before we learn our New Year's resolution habits. Okay, let's quickly cut to this and then come back.
Because I'm mentally ill, I've been wondering what the quickest game over ever is. And I mean proper game over, as in you can't play anymore and have to start again from the beginning. I can think of 3 games I've played in the past where you can deliberately end the game almost immediately after starting it. Time for a competition to see which is the shortest. Here's our first competitor, Days of Thunder on the Atari ST. It's based on the appalling Tom Cruise film from 1990, where they tried to recreate Top Gun in racing cars and failed miserably. The game's pretty rubbish as well, but a great example of a quick game over. You see, you start the game in the pit lane for the qualifying lap, and reversing in the pit lane results in immediate disqualification, so by jamming the car in reverse at the start you can be disqualified almost immediately. Right, timing begins when the player takes control, and ends when that control is lost. Ready? Here goes.
Oh my gosh, what a sound. Speedrun. Wow. 2 seconds. Less than 3 seconds. Reversing is not allowed in the pit lane. You're disqualified.
2.44 seconds from start to game over. That's going to take some beating, but we have a very good candidate.
Turn down the volume.
We have Treasure Island Dizzy on the ZX Spectrum. I love this game.
Let me know if
it's
the
a
volume's
very pretty
better.
platform puzzler where you have to pick
Reverse
up objects and use them to get past obstacles in an attempt to escape the island.
They handle that scenario for that animation.
You only have 1 life, and so much as touching anything dangerous will instantly spell game over, even if you've been playing it for an hour or more.
Game over.
The first location is a beach, and falling in water without a snorkel spells instant death, so here goes.
Alright, you're in a beach, you're next to the water, and you're dead. Wow, less than 2 seconds. Wow.
1.72 seconds. A full game played in under 2 seconds. Amazing.
There might be one of those in this Calamity Nolan. A text adventure where you could die immediately. I think there might be one.
ZX Spectrum. Based on the old kids' TV show detailing the exploits of some London schoolchildren, this is an inventory-based adventure game. You control the hero Gonch, who has had his cassette player confiscated, and attempt to break into the school to retrieve it before his mum finds out. This game has some of the most stupid game overs ever. For instance, you can play for 3/4 of an hour and then die instantly because you stepped on a loose paving stone.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, the starting location is next to Gonch's house, which you must avoid at all costs.
It's so frustrating.
So let's go there deliberately and time it.
So much text.
Back home.
Oh, you're home already,
says your mum. Tea's ready. Looks like she's forgotten. Oh yes, she continues. Where's your cassette player? You shut up and await the inevitable. Your mum is going to kill you.
That's it? 1.68 seconds?
1.68 seconds.
Just
we have
text.
A winner by a slim margin.
No gameplay.
Also, I think that Gonch's mum will literally kill him. Look at her. She's like a cross between
an
Egyptian mummy and a praying
right. I think it takes a while to get eaten.
So there you go.
Ski-free.
Range Hill is the winner. But do you know of a quicker game over? Remember, you have to time it from when you get control to the second you lose control. If you can think of any, drop me a line by email or YouTube messaging.
It's gotta be a game where you click something and die immediately. Those are pretty fast though. Less than 2 seconds. That's very fast. So don't do those things if you want to mess up your New Year's resolutions. Fastest game over. Oh my gosh. Part 2. Oh, he did a part 2. 5 minutes. Probably the fastest game over in any video game. 20 seconds. This will be real fast. Here we go.
I feel the need.
Oh
the
my
need
gosh.
for quick game overs.
Battle City. 1 player, 2 players. Alright, let's get this started. Game over! What happened? He just destroyed his own base or something? Game over.
I feel...
That was so fast, I don't even know what happened. There are games where there's a lose life button to avoid soft locks. Somehow I don't get banned. He dug into a mine, so he destroyed his own base, I guess. Wow, that was fast. I barely had time to react to what happened. We're already talking about it longer than it even happened.
Oh, forget it. Okay,
Oh, here's Another World. I believe this is Another World, right?
First, Another World, known
Another
as
World's
Mountain
famous.
in the US, starts you off sitting at a desk underwater. If you immediately swim down, you get nobbled by some horrid tentacles. And
this game has a lot of like very quick deaths, so you have to, and yeah, it's like a really kind of a masterpiece in like cinematic platforming gaming, and like also what's it called, rotoscoped animation, for rotoscoped pixel animation at the time. You could die everywhere in Another World. And see if you could just delete your units and hit end turn pretty quick. But like, do you lose the game when that happens though? I think it takes a while for anyone to like, I feel like it's, oh, but if you just delete your settler in Civilization, what happens, you know? Yeah, if you just start the game with 1 settler and your workers, what happens? You don't even found a city. Right, in Age of Empires also. Man.
That's it. However, the death actually takes several seconds and is therefore not nearly as quick as the games I looked at last time. This is Star Evil from infamous Crapfest Action 52
Action
on the
52.
NES, or NES as I'm going to call it. Whilst it is possible to blow up very quickly, you have multiple
Still
lives.
Might take longer than 1.6 seconds.
Sillies. Here's the appalling Transformers on the NES. There's a video on YouTube which implies that you can get game over within a fraction of a second, but it's actually been sneakily edited or something, as the game gives you 3 lives when you play it. Iffy. Xbox Live Arcade platform Puzzler N Plus has various levels where you can die very quickly, but due to the episodic nature of the game, there's no real game overs as such, so we'll leave that one. One of the Paper Mario games apparently has a dialogue option at the start which allows you to, well, choose not to play the game, thus ending the proceedings before they even start. That's not really keeping in with the spirit of things, that, is it?
Huh.
Oh, and old 8-bit text adventures are banned, because if you just type a swear word into them, you can get all cranky and end the game immediately. Anyway, here we go with the new timings. First up is Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga 1200. This game was an astonishing technical achievement.
Oh, typing a swear word.
Much fun to
you
play.
lose the game instantly.
Controversial. Anyway, you can choose to start off on the surface of Mars, then deliberately ram your ship into the floor on takeoff. Like this.
What? I can't even see what happens. Okay, how devastating is that? If I were a little kid, maybe I'd never want to play this game ever again.
Now, there's some controversy with this. The fastest I could get was 2.12 seconds, mainly because there is such a delay between pressing the controls and something actually happening. If you look at the video responses from the first quickest game over video, you'll see that a chap called Delta NC managed a much quicker death using a joypad and the CD32 version, which seems to be much more responsive than the Amiga 1200 one. Since it was technically possible to connect a keyboard to the CD32 and a keyboard would give you much quicker access to the controls needed to blow yourself up, it's almost certainly possible to die much faster than 2.12 seconds.
Okay, it depends on which version of the game you have.
Under a second with practice.
You gotta practice to lose faster.
Second up is Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards.
Leisure Suit Larry.
And vaguely rude game, which utilised Sierra's hateful old graphic adventure engine. One of the hallmarks of this genre was the instant game over for completely arbitrary reasons, as shown here if you have the temerity
Outer
to walk
Wilds
into
is,
the road
I keep hearing
start.
amazing things about it, and I also hear you can't talk about what happens in Outer Wilds. It's great, highly recommend. Oh boy, 1.60 seconds, I just missed it.
Temerity to walk into the road at the very start.
What happens? Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, that was fast.
1.6 seconds.
Press
We've managed
F
to
in the
beat
chat
current
to pay
champion, Grange Hill.
respects.
Can we do better?
F in the chat to pay
Of course
respects.
we can. There's still a fair bit of video time remaining. Next is Karateka for the NES. A nice little game.
Oh,
You have to fight a
Karateka,
procession
nice.
of people who wear increasingly silly hats. Then you get killed by a gate. Anyway, turns out you can walk backwards on a cliff at the very start.
Just walk backwards. Wow, that was... You didn't even find anything. There's not even anything on the screen. You just walk backwards.
A groovy 1.4 seconds. There's a video response which shows somebody timing this at about 1 second, but that timing seems to start a bit late to me. Besides, I must be right because I'm wearing a helmet. Finally, we return to the rubbish Action 52 on the NES. This was a multi-game thing similar to the European
52.
Cascade Cassette 50.
Stop.
Except it cost something ridiculous,
we got some.
$200.
We got some.
This particular part of it we're
arguments
looking at
in the chat. Stop the
Hambo's
clock too
Adventures,
early.
An almost unplayable platformer where you desperately attempt to get the titular pig-faced idiot to reach the top of the screen. But you can't, because it's virtually impossible to jump over the enemies. Now, the enemies in this game appear in random places, so I played it 5 times and recorded the quickest game over, which was this.
Wow. Less than half a second.
Wow! 0.4 seconds. Of the 5 goes I had on Hambo's
0.4
Adventures,
seconds.
2 of them ended in less than a second. Pure class. Right,
Holy
many thanks
moly.
to FFL2 and 3 Rocks for bringing lovely Hambo to my attention.
FF1, 2,
That's
and
just
3
his YouTube
rocks.
name and not what his mother calls him. So, is there a quicker game over than 0.4 seconds? I don't care because I'm bored of this now. Bye!
Wow, that was fast. That's a short video. This guy's dedicated to losing this. I don't know where he gets the footage from. If he does
Evidence
the footage
suggests
himself.
that with
So anyway, let's start over with this. So now that we know how to lose in life, let's learn how to win. Let's just avoid losing, and we can win. I think I learned that tip from a book somewhere that like if you know where you're gonna die, you avoid there as long as possible, so then you can live as long as possible. Tell me where I'm gonna die so I can avoid that place as long as possible. Yeah, here we go.
Within a week, 25% of us have failed on our resolutions. A month later, half of us have. And then you've got those annoyingly persistent 25 or 30% that seem to carry it on for years. And we've been doing this research for decades. And the big revolution we have now is people tend to do what they enjoy and not what they don't enjoy. You're welcome for decades of research for something as simple as that. I'm Dr. Amanda Rebar. I'm Associate Professor of Psychology. I'm here to help you make sense of New Year's resolutions. Resolutions are really different from habits, but they don't have to be. Resolutions are self-initiated, plan to change. Whereas habits are how we do things day to day. Habits tend to last a long term, whereas resolutions tend to fade out. To make resolutions that work, you need to focus on the behavior rather than the outcome. You need to make sure it fits within your life and you're not forcing yourself to do something. And you need to find a way that it's satisfying, fun, or easy. Ideally, all 3.
Or all
So let's start here with behavior change.
Behavior, not
When
outcome.
we talk about behavior, really we think about it in 2 different ways. We think of the initiation, so deciding to do that behavior, and execution. So once you decide to do something, how do you do that? My favorite example of that is getting in the car and deciding to go to work. That's the initiation, and execution is maybe the route you take. So the more we go through life, the more we go, okay, this is connected to this, or this makes me feel this way. And we reflect on those quite quickly within a quarter of a second to make decisions or to influence how we act or to how we feel.
Your dinner.
And that's all a
Nolan,
habit is,
take it easy.
associative
Thanks for
learning.
joining.
That's how we can change our own behaviors. Think, what's the reward that's continuing this link between me doing this behavior and whatever context I'm in? Why does my mind think that this is a good thing to do?
All that means is that we need to make new habits.
New habits.
How does science say that we do that?
Rewards are really interesting because we're driven by them if we like it or not. So
We do have an ad right now. Should we take a break? Oh no, I'm just
reward
gonna
is kind of that.
Play some music while I get some more water, and then we'll be back from break soon. So yeah, take a short break. BRB in 2 minutes. I know I was muted. I was just jamming out to that for a bit. Thanks for the emotes, Backlog Cabin. Let's just jam out a little bit. Let's just jam out. A, 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 A. Why is it not doing those emojis? Hey, it's Yuna from Final Fantasy X, but kind of like reggae style a little bit. Dank, 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 dank. Oh, you got those emotes in. Dang. What's the limit on the emotes? What counts as spamming? Maybe I should just turn... No, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm literally gonna turn that off. I wanna turn that off, spamming emotes. Stop spamming emotes. Stop spamming emotes, /Fever. Stop spamming emotes. Bro, you're spamming too many emotes. Okay, I'm gonna turn off for now. And if it becomes a problem, I'll turn it back on again, but I don't think it'll become a problem anytime soon. As soon as I ask that. Hey, Agnew! What? Oh man, poor Agnew. 30 seconds. Hey, Pokemon Gold, alright. Stop spamming emotes. Let me change this on Cloudbot. Cloudbot, mod tools, symbol protection, too many symbols, emote protection. Turn that off. There we go. Alright, turn off the emotes. Spam up the fastest timeouts. We were just going over fastest game overs. Like, some of them were like less than half a second to like reach game over. And we just went over that to just get an idea of like, what's the fastest way to fail in order to know what not to do before we start trying to form good habits and try to take on having good fulfill our New Year's resolutions on a good foot and stuff. Start off on a good foot for fulfilling our New Year's resolutions. So let's check it out. Let's continue.
Catalyst or the helper between doing a behavior once and making sure we do it over and over again to the point where these habits form. When you're trying to form a habit, it seems really tempting to reward yourself for doing the behavior, having a reward day after you diet for 7 days. The problem with that is then you're shifting from habit to goal-directed behavior or to an achievement you're doing.
Come on, can you make this more exciting? Can you make this more exciting or shorter or something? I want to learn about how to form good habits without this seeming like a lecture. You know, come on. It seems very informative though. It's great. But I don't know. I feel like I'd watch this on my own, but I don't know if I want to watch this in a group setting right now on Twitch stream.
Most New Year's resolutions fail. So in this video, I want to talk about the science of why they fail and how to avoid that so your New Year's resolutions actually succeed. And I want to tell you about 3 of the Everyday Calendar by Simone Yetch. Oddly satisfying. Where there's a button for every day of the year and you can push it and the light turns on. And that is really satisfying. So I think this will encourage me to write down a word early in the day so that I can go and turn on the light for that day. What's great about this is it's a very visual way to track my progress and to have it in an obvious place where I can look at it all the time. And
Coolest ways to track positive habits. Best habit trackers. Funniest, clever, funniest.
I'll put it in the back of shot for
habit expert. Okay, this one has animations. Maybe this one will be exciting.
If you are like most people, there is a gap between the person you are and the person you wish to be. There are little things
British
you think
accent,
you should do and
fun
big
animations,
things you ought to achieve.
Good sound effects.
From working out regularly, eating healthily, learning a language, working on your novel, reading more, or simply actually doing your hobby instead of browsing Reddit.
Don't tell me what to
But
do.
it
I want
sometimes
to browse
feels
Reddit.
that to achieve your goals, you have to become a different person. Someone who is consistent, puts in more effort, has discipline and willpower.
Discipline and willpower are annoying.
Maybe you've tried your hardest to be like that, and it worked for a while, until you find yourself slipping back into your old ways. In the end, you always seem to fail, and with every failed attempt, you become more and more frustrated and annoyed with yourself. If you believe success and hustle internet, it's all your own fault. If you don't succeed, you just didn't want it enough, and the failure is all you. But change is actually hard. And as with most things in life, understanding why makes things easier. The jungle. Imagine your brain as a lush and dense jungle. Moving through it, say to make a decision to do something, is like moving through an actual jungle. It's hard and it costs energy. Your brain hates expending energy, so it came up with a trick. All your actions and behaviors leave paths in the jungle of your brain. As you start doing something, you trample down some plants and make rough, improvised trails through the undergrowth. The more often you do the thing, the more pronounced the trail becomes. Over time, it turns into a path that is easier to tread, so you take it more often, and it turns into a street. As you repeat doing the thing over and over for years, the street turns into a highway. Traversing it becomes effortless, familiar, and comfortable. The more pronounced your brain highways, the more you get used to their comfort. So we continue to use them, which means we tend to do what we've always done.
Yeah, it reminds me of that like Bruce Lee quote that's like I don't fear the man who's like practiced 100 different punches 10 times, but I fear the man who practiced one punch 1,000 times and perfected it. You know, just the things, like whatever it is, you just got to be the best at whatever it is just by practicing it over and over with a lot of persistence and whatnot.
This is why change is hard, especially as an adult when your jungle is crisscrossed by lots of established streets and highways. To understand how those highways are built, we need to distinguish between two things: routines and habits. The things you do, routines and habits. A routine is a sequence of actions that you carry out the same way every time because they've worked out well for you. For example, you get the same ingredients for your favorite dish and cook them in a certain order because you like the taste of the result. Or before going to bed, you set an alarm at 6:30 because this is when you want to get up. Imagine routines as being executed by a wise planner. It's slow and analytical, responsible for strategizing and mental calculations. The planner is aware of the future and carefully considers what kind of result you want. Based on that, it chooses actions to achieve specific outcomes, even if they are uncomfortable, like taking a shower after getting up. Routines can eventually turn into habits, which feel much easier because they're basically a sequence of actions carried out without thinking about them. You've done them so often before that your brain considers them rewarding and a great response to a situation. So a habit can feel like you're on autopilot. You don't have to convince yourself to do something that's a habit, you just do it. The important thing about habits is that they are set in motion by triggers, context cues that can be single things or entire situations that give your brain the signal to start the behavior or action. You already have a lot of triggers in your life, like when you see your phone. You almost always unlock the screen. Or you reach for the seatbelt when you sit in a car. Or when you buy your coffee before work, you also get a cookie even though you aren't actually hungry. Habits are executed by an impulsive toddler. It responds to your immediate desires based on what's around you, without considering any longer-term goals. For the toddler, the future does...
Whoa. All these things on the left are awesome, though. Donuts, video games, ice cream. It looks like green tea ice cream, chocolate chip cookies, smartphone. Also, a unicycle is here for some reason. I don't think people... Yeah, I guess a lot of... You know, I got the unicycle habit. I just got a habit for unicycling as a small child. And, I just never really did the laundry or play guitar or water the plants or read some books. I was always unicycling. I was hooked on it from a young age. There's a guy who showed me, and, he said, you want to see something cool, kid? It's called unicycling. I could have read like thousands of books by now. I really could have been somebody, but once I picked up the unicycle habit, it just became my life. Oh man. Well, it was that damn unicycle. I could have been somebody. Jeez. And it always started as a young age. You just see that guy at the circus, so cool at the unicycle, doing the unicycling, and you're like, and that gets in your head, the media gets it in your head that unicycling is so cool. Is that you talking, or is that the unicycle talking? I can stop whenever I want, damn it. I can quit this unicycle anytime I want. It's just I don't see any of you unicycling and having a problem with it. It's only me. You would criticize me for being into unicycles so much. But you know what? Unicycling is actually really good for you if you think about it. Actually works out your lower body, works on your sense of balance, your poise. You said you'd add a wheel and keep it there. So wobbly and uneven. Is that you talking or the unicycle again? It's hard to watch sometimes. Hard to watch. Oh my gosh. This is a toddler that's into why? This is such a weird example. Like, why is this? Instead of eating healthy and working out and learning a new instrument or reading books or doing laundry, I just got into unicycling. Oh gosh.
Considering any longer-term goals. For the toddler, the future doesn't exist and it hates hard work. So when it notices a trigger, it steers you to take this easy road inside your brain that leads to a familiar, rewarding result. If you get coffee, the toddler also wants the cookie just because that's what you do every morning. This rewarding feeling is also how most of your bad habits started. Chocolate is tasty, browsing Reddit is occasionally mildly entertaining. This is why you repeat these actions, even if they're bad for you.
Yeah.
Rewarding feelings associated with an action demand to be repeated, and so a bad habit is born. While the toddler sounds like a built-in sabotage mechanism, it is as important as the wise planner, and actually they work together most of the time. You need your wise planner for thinking big thoughts and parallel parking and doing your taxes.
There's the id, the ego, and the superego, you know? There's the child, the inner child, the toddler, and the inner parent, you know?
But letting your wise planner do everything would cost too much energy. Outsourcing mundane and repetitive tasks to habits managed by the toddler allows your brain to easily manage your daily life while dealing with more complex mental challenges at the same time.
That's pretty useful.
So if we want to change and introduce a new behavior into our lives, we can actually use these energy-saving mechanisms to make it easier. We'll focus on small things, not big ones. Improving your life a little is so much better than aiming high and changing nothing. Especially because small changes can do a lot over months and years. How to build a habit. If you want to make change easier, the best way may not be to force it with willpower, but to convince your brain that it's not that big of a deal. By creating new routines and then turning them into habits. You want your wise planner to construct that first trail and then use your toddler to help initiate the action effortlessly. Let's say you want to work out to be fitter.
That's what it means.
A very
I didn't know
common
that.
goal. The first thing to do is to break down this pretty vague goal into clear, separate actions, because the idea is to make the action itself as easy a threshold as possible. So small it's manageable, and so specific that you don't have to think about it a lot. For example, a tangible, controllable action might be doing 10 squats every morning.
10 squats every
So you can start by trying to create a routine, but already include clear triggers that the toddler can pick up later on. Remember, a trigger is nothing more than a signal that you always associate with the action. They can be visual pointers like seeing a particular object, like your training outfit, or a certain time of day, or a designated place like a nearby park, or even better, all of these things combined. The important thing is that you always start doing your action in a specific context. This trigger is the start button that will eventually set off the action automatically. So to establish a home workout habit with 10 squats to begin with, you could make sure to always do them with your exercise gear on at the same place and time, like in your living room at 8 AM. Once you have...
did I sound like that? Oh boy. 10 squats every morning. Ugh, you got me. Ugh. I can't do it this morning. No way. No way, no how. I'm too tired, man. I just got to get to work. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. It's too much. It's too much. Can't. Gotta unicycle. Gotta go fast. Oh my gosh. Yeah, some kind of context that makes you want to do it again. Regularly and repeatedly. Something like that. Just an opportunity to feel like you want to do it again. That's good.
Your trigger and action, all you need to do is repeat them regularly, ideally every day. If you keep going, they will change from a routine to a habit, from a trail to a highway. Don't get this wrong, the squats will still take you energy to do, but the decision to do them will feel much less like a chore and more like a regular part of your day. While this is simple, it's not easy. Many things you want to turn into habits don't offer as much instant gratification as wasting time on Reddit. To make your new action easier to repeat and more likely to be picked up by the toddler, try to make it pleasurable. Not necessarily by rewarding yourself after you've done it, but by making the action or behavior itself more enjoyable.
Make it more enjoyable.
Like only listening to your favorite podcast while working out, or chipping away at your taxes while you wait for civilization to load the next round.
They called it. They called it.
Like only listening to your favorite podcast while working out, or chipping away at your taxes while you wait for civilization.
At your taxes while you wait for civilization to load the next round. They're calling somebody out in the chat right now. Oh boy. It's perfect time to do your taxes. I literally have a clip here queued up, basically over here, for doing taxes and stuff. But yeah. Oh man, I ain't doing squats. You're joking, but you asked me to do 10 squats after I just woke up. I'm gonna go into a rage. Hey, do it. I mean, yeah, that's you got to do what's easy for you, and what's easy to form into a habit, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
To load the next round. You need to figure out what works for you. In principle, that's it. Frustratingly simple, like most things you can do to make your life better. How long it takes for your toddler to take over and establish a habit varies widely. It depends on the behavior you're trying to get used to, what kind of person you are, your stress levels, and many more things. It takes anything between 15 and 250 days until a new habit is kicked off automatically by its trigger. You won't know how long it will take for you. Starting is the easy part, especially in the first week or two. Continuing to do it every day is the hard part, but it does get easier as you keep going. There are no silver bullets for change, but the science of habits is a reminder that it is possible no matter how old or young you are. Even if you only end up doing a little more good stuff or a few new things, that's still a success. Being a little bit more healthy or knowledgeable is a million times better than being unhappy about a thing and changing nothing. In the end, change is a direction, not a destination. So now, hoping we've given you a bit of insight and motivation, here is the thing we made to make this progress easier with design and science.
So they got a
Please
product?
bear in mind, you don't need to buy anything to work on yourself.
Okay.
This is
Don't need to
optional.
buy anything? Sounds good to
Having
me.
said that, we struggle with change as much as anyone else, so we've created our own habit journal, as much for ourselves as for you. Before we printed anything, we tested it on ourselves and got feedback from the Kurzgesagt team and experts. The idea is for you to track your habit progress for your desired behavior. There's a tutorial part which guides you through the hardest part of the process step by step. You'll get helpful pointers, reflect on your progress, and how you could make things easier for yourself. Once you get
I've read the whole book. I just need to pause every frame,
reflect on your
and just screenshot it and zoom in. There we
progress
go.
and how you could make things easier for
I don't
yourself.
need a book.
Once you get through the tutorial part,
I
the
can do it
habit
whenever I
journaling
want.
starts, regularly interwoven with examples, science breaks, and
I could do this habit. I could form a habit whenever I want. It's just when I feel like it. I just don't feel like it right now.
reflections that we hope will help keep the journey interesting. Like our gratitude journal, it's cloth-bound with an embossed hardcover and printed on high-quality paper. Nice to the touch and with lots of beautiful illustrations, this book is a companion on your personal change journey, however small or big it may be. Getting things from our shop is the best way to support Kurzgesagt and what we try to do here on the channel.
Kurzgesagt.
Thank you for watching.
Kurzgesagt. All right. And let's check out this. I do notice I procrastinate when I myself to stream when I realize I have something else to do later in the day. Yeah, there's like a certain context that makes us do things and stuff like that, right? Yeah, I guess so, huh? Okay, Ned Flanders in the new year.
Oh, January 1st. Better get going on those taxes, Nettie.
Oh gosh, makes me stop from going live. Yeah, and then it's like it's too late to go live and stuff like that. And then like this is what happens when you procrastinate. Everyone else is celebrating New Year's.
Oh, January 1st. Better get going on those taxes, Nettie.
Let's see, cash register ink. Well, that's a business expense, isn't it?
Policemen, trees, sunshine, and let's not forget the folks who just don't feel like working, God bless them.
Oh boy. And then it's April 15th. Everyone's doing their taxes. Base net.
Listen up. The harder you push, the faster we will all get out of here.
Worst, worst organizer ever, line management ever.
Oh, Edna, you're certainly looking lovely tonight. Is that a new green sweater?
Until you're willing to file jointly. Back of the line, Seymour.
Ooh. Ooh, rejected.
Yar, sometimes I wonder why I bother plundering at all.
Oh, no. I felt that. You didn't carry the one, you foolish person. Now you'll incur the penalties with compound interest and the wrath and the truncheons behind.
This is Kent Brockman live at this.
Right, so before the internet, you had to go to some DMV type bullshit to do your taxes. Yeah, I mean, I went to the before they had, I don't know, like I guess like before I've always done taxes through TurboTax and stuff. But like I've been to the library and like they have tax forms for people to fill out. And basically the same form that you're like typing in and that they turn into a PDF in TurboTax is like a form you just fill out by hand with paper and pen and paper and stuff. And then I guess you just mail it, I guess. I don't know, yeah. Just go to the local university. Interesting. Yeah, like is this the post office?
Springfield Post Office
They're at
on
the post office, so they're mailing it over.
Tax Day. It's literally the 11th hour, 10 p.m. And tardy taxpayers are scrambling to mail their returns by midnight.
Metallica?
Sir, why did you wait until the last minute to pay your taxes?
Because I'm an idiot. Happy?
I'm laughing now, and then who knows? I'm gonna procrastinate on this and
months ago. And at the risk of sounding a little smug,
Oh, help! Does anyone have a calculator?
Myron.
No. Will you look at those morons? I paid my taxes over a year ago.
Dad.
What is it, sweetie? Did you see a scary picture in your picture book?
That was last year's taxes. You have to pay again this year.
No, because you see, I went ahead and year-wise, I was counting forward from the last previous.
I'm just straight up copyright infringing right now.
If anyone asks, you require 24-hour nursing care. Lisa's a clergyman. Maggie has 7 people, and Bart was wounded in Vietnam.
Cool.
Ned never procrastinating. New Year's and procrastination. Let me see. Habits. Lose weight fast. Lose weight subliminal. Lose weight without exercise. Lose weight in 3 days. Lose weight hypnosis. Lose weight and build muscle. Actually, I did hear about this bodybuilder upcoming YouTuber guy who's like, apparently people like him. What's this guy? None of these are him. What is it? No, maybe he's not a bodybuilder. Maybe he's gym. Gym is the word I'm looking for. Fitness YouTubers, gym. Well, I guess this is definitely a niche that a lot of people are in. How much my wife's fitness YouTube channel earns. Why isn't she making her own YouTube video on her own YouTube channel? What the hell? Modern gym culture is absolute garbage. How Planet Fitness became hated by the world. Let me see. Okay, gym memberships in January. Gym regulars dreading January. Gyms in January. Gyms in January. These guys have 1.6 million subscribers. Oh, there's no weights. 1,000 pounds full ROM squat. Everyone's taking classes. Mamba Fitness. Whoa, what is that? What is that? Okay, I guess she's getting a workout for her arms and her lower body, but then I don't know what. She's just being held up there, I guess. So random. Oh, I'm supposed to taxes for wall twerking. Spotting her for wall twerking. Butt ups. I'm out of here. This is a nice gym, by the way. It's a nice gym. This is why New Year's resolutions always fail. I don't know, maybe it is why. Gym memberships are a scam. Gym on January 1st. You see, gyms are going bankrupt as 60% of men are boycotting gyms. Congrats, ladies, you have ruined gyms. Why gym memberships in January are a waste.
Speaking of getting back on track by the new year is right around the corner and plenty of folks deciding on their New Year's resolutions.
There's improving your finances, quitting a bad habit, or one of the most popular,
I mean,
getting
they were
more
taking up
exercise.
the...
News 8's Jatara Marsh joins us from the newsroom this morning to share tips from a personal trainer on how you can stay consistent. Jatara, good morning.
Amal, Casey, good morning. Getting more exercise is a common New Year's resolution, and that's confirmed by the International Health Racket and Sports Club Association, which reports that 12% of gym membership signups happen in January. John Hutchings is a personal trainer in the Rochester area who has been in the fitness industry for 25 years. He owned a gym, and then shortly after COVID hit, he had to shut it down. He says coming out of the pandemic, the one trend he's noticed with people when it comes to working out is most have developed bad habits, such as eating more without consistent exercise. Hutchings says in order to remain consistent, you should start with small goals that are action-based rather than result-based.
An activity-based goal would be, hey, I'm going to go to the gym 2 days this week. I'm going to go Tuesday, Thursday. And then you do that. You accomplish that and you go, hey, I've achieved my goal without, concern for what results that produces.
He says it's not about how much weight is on a scale, it's about improving your weight composition, and he says a great way to do that is by weight training. Casey, Amel, back to you.
All right, Jatira, thank you so much. And if you'd like more tips and advice from Hutchings, you can follow him on his Facebook page, Healthy Edge.
Wow. I feel like local news in Rochester feels like it has a different vibe than like local news in like a big city like New York City. What, this had 98 views. I was in the 1% of viewers that watch this video. What is this?
It's one of the most common New Year's resolutions.
Northern Kentucky and Indiana.
Join a gym.
I love it.
Every single year, there's a predictable surge of gym memberships as people resolve to become the best version of themselves. Just for those people to drop off the face
truth
of
about
Planet
supplements.
Fitness after just a couple
Future-proof
of
health.
weeks. But what if I told you that this New Year's phenomenon wasn't just about human weakness, but the result of a deliberately manipulative industry that capitalizes on failed goals?
The problem with Manscaped. This is like a consumer products
now,
YouTube
to
channel.
understand the fitness industry mess, we first have to acknowledge how unbelievably difficult it is to run a gym these days. Their whole business model relies on people being willing to pay for something they don't like doing. So it makes sense that 8 in 10 gyms fail within the first year. Meanwhile,
didn't really get any muscle, so I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Am I gonna go to a gym this year? I went to the gym like for the first time in several years this past year, and I want to go more often. But I don't know. Hearing about all these ways people fail seems tough. Seems like I just need to focus on just going more often and not focus on results. I guess actions rather than outcomes. So hate signing up for a gym and realizing they don't have any Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah. Where's the? Ah, I see you've come here for the Boulder Gym badge. Oh man. We're at the Psychic Gym.
to survive in a competitive market, gym owners have to rent or buy spacious prime real estate in high traffic areas, hire full staff of fitness professionals, and purchase and maintain a fleet of pricey equipment. This is not the sort of business you can just run dirt cheap out of your mom's garage. But perhaps the biggest challenge is that a lot of people who start gyms have a genuine passion for fitness. They know about the health side of things, but they don't always know much about the business and marketing side of things. The unfortunate reality is that it is incredibly difficult to make a living off a gym, and that usually means that things are going to get sketchy if you do. Water. No.
Let me see. Do I want to watch this? I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Habits, positive habits.
Most New
Evidence suggests that within a week, 25% of us have failed on our resolution.
New habits stick around for good.
Every habit researcher dreads the
who's taking a more high-tech route. Is technology a benefit or a burden?
The role of technology is, we think of the initiation as maybe, and that's all a habit is, associative learning. That's how we can change our own behaviors. Think, what's the reward? Maybe the route you take. So the more we go through life, the more we go, okay, this is connected to this, or this makes me feel this way. And we reflect on those quite quickly within a quarter of a second to make decisions or to influence how we act or to how we feel. And that's all a habit is, associative learning. That's how we can change our own behaviors. Think, what's the reward that's continuing this link between me doing this behavior and whatever context I'm in? Why does my mind think that this is a good thing to do?
I guess it's sort of like the opposite of.
So how does?
I guess positive habits are like the opposite of bad habits, where like bad habits are easy to fall into. They're immediately rewarding. They're immediately satisfying, and you don't necessarily have to put in a lot of hard work to do them. So you get the reward immediately, right away. So you do it over and over and over again. But it's not good for you. Whereas like positive habits tend to be really good for you, but they're hard to start up. They're hard to maintain over time. They're not that rewarding at first, and it takes a while to be rewarding. But then they can become rewarding over time if you get better and better and better, and you develop those positive habits, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, like positive habit formation. How to form a positive habit. Atomic Habits Summary. Habits can change your life. Set systems rather than goals. Let's just try a bunch of these. Let's just run through a bunch of these and get a bunch of ideas. How about that? So let's just queue this up, and then if it's no good, we skip it. This one's a podcast, so let's skip that. Atomic Habits Summary. How habits can change your life and your brain. Sure. Habit formation explained in 1 minute. Sounds good to me. 1 minute sounds good. Lessons from Atomic Habits in under 60 seconds. Amazing. Let's cue that up.
In Atomic Habits, James Clear teaches us how to build better habits and break our bad ones so that we can live our best lives. Here are my 5 key lessons from the book. 1. Small habits lead to big changes. If you get 1% better each day, you'll get 37 times better by the end of the year. As James writes, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. 2. If you want better results, focus on systems, not on goals. Goals are about the results you want to achieve, but systems are about the processes that get to those results. 3. If you want to change your habits, focus on who you want to be rather than what you want to achieve. When a habit comes from who we are, we're far more motivated to actually get what we want. 4. Follow the 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And 5. Be patient. To see meaningful results, our habits need to persist for long enough. If you like this, you'll love my full video about the book Atomic Habits. Check it out on my channel, link down below. In Atomic Habits,
Okay, let's cue this up.
If we want to change our lives, we're often told that we need to think big, make drastic changes, or perhaps even move across continents. But what if we could achieve major transformations just through small tweaks to our daily routines? We all tend to overestimate the importance of single actions and underestimate the power of making small improvements repetitively over a longer period of time. Real change comes from the compound effects of hundreds of small decisions or small habits that, over time, accumulate to produce remarkable results, changing our lifestyles, behaviors, and identities.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel and to the second episode of Book Club, a new series where I summarize the key insights and ideas from some of my favorite books. And today we're talking about Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is all about the power and process of building good habits and breaking bad ones.
Through examples from sports, business, and education, along with evidence from psychology and neuroscience, the book explains the science and practical implications of how tiny habits and minuscule changes can grow into life-altering outcomes and help us lead healthier, happier, and more productive lives.
So there's basically 4 key insights from this book that we're going to talk about in turn. Firstly, we'll talk about the power of 1% changes over time.
1%. I can improve by 1%. Easy. I could do it like that. 1% is easy. I could improve by 1% anytime I want to. No problem.
Why we should screw goals and focus on systems instead. Thirdly,
screw goals? Yeah, I don't need goals. I'm already on that. I don't have goals. I got that in the bag, no problem.
Why it's all about identities rather than outcomes. And finally, we'll look at what
identity change. I change my identity day after day. I don't even know who I am anymore. It's easy, no problem.
our boy James calls the 4 fundamental laws of behavior change. So firstly,
I can make up any number of laws over behavior change any number of days of the week. I don't need behavior change laws that I need to stick to. I can make up 50 million of them if I want to. I don't need 4. Yeah, easy, no problem. Obviously, I'm doing like some anti-patterns here, but yeah, screw goals. I'm 10 steps ahead.
Why does 1% matter? Well, it's all about the power of compounding.
Compounding can be amazingly powerful, both positively and negatively, if we leave it to develop over a period of time.
I've been actually interested in looking into the power of compounding returns. So
if we can get 1% better each day for a year, we'll end up 37 times better by the time we're done. But if we get 1% worse each day for 1 year, we'll go down nearly to 0. As James says in his book, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Habits don't seem to make much difference on a given day, but the impact over months or years can be absolutely enormous.
We don't often think about these.
So you got to stick to something and improve it each time. So let's see. Let's get a. So let's actually calculate this out. Compounding. This actually kind of came up. I actually won in trivia kind of recently. I won a trivia contest at a bar we had, a trivia night at a bar we had, and one of the questions was if you have the current credit card interest rate is 22%. How 22% per year? How many years would it take for 22% to double the amount of debt you have on that credit card? How many years would it take? And it was multiple choice. Choice A was 1.5 years. Choice B was 3.5 years. Choice C was 5.5 years. And choice D was like 7.5 years. So, yeah. Only after you have lost everything are you free to gain anything. Interesting. Only if you lost it are you free to gain anything. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's definitely that. There's definitely that aspect of things. Yeah. So yeah, let's say you're at 100%. And let's say you're gonna improve over that over 365 days. Let's say these days are replacing years or something. And let's say the improved interest interest is 1%. So let's do it 365 days, 1% each day over 100 over 365 days, and you start with 100%. So improve by 1%. Too long, too long. Must be less than 100. So let's just say it's 100. Let's just see what happens after we do 100, which will be a long time. So let's see. So it looks pretty flat. But you start at 100, you improve 1%, and then it compounds very quickly. And even after like, 70, you already double. And then after that, it grows even faster. You're already at 267% after 100 days. So if you improve by 2%, what happens? It also grows exponentially. So let's calculate that. You start with 100, and then it grows. It only takes 35 years to double if you improve by 1% every year, or 2% every year. And then it doubles again and then for like 300, it's only 57. For 400, it's 70. For 500, it's between 81 and 82. For 600, it's 91. For 700, it's like less than 99. So compounding goes really fast. Yeah, if you increase it by 2% on each iteration. Yeah, 100 goes to 122. Because it compounds, so every single iteration you're increasing by 2%, including the existing 2%, that all the cumulative stuff you've gained over time. So it grows exponentially. So let's say we go to something crazy. Let's go to 5%. If you compound based on 5%, it goes up like a rocket like this. Look at this. 5%. You only get $5 after the first year. And then it's like, $10. Then it's $15. 121. And then after 10 years, you got, oh, it's pretty nice, $160. Another 10 years is $265. Another 10 years to 30 years is going to be 453. 40 years is 700. 50 years is 1,000. 60 years is 1,800. 70 years is 3,000. 80 years is 4,900. And then 90 years is 8,000. And then 99 years would be 12,000. This is all if you started with $100 or whatever at the beginning. That's the power of compounding. Annual percentage yield, yeah. So this is 1% interest compounding over the existing accumulation. But yeah, let's say you have an initial investment of $1,000. Let's say you start with 0 and you have a monthly contribution of 100. and then you're going over 30 years, something that's realistic. Let's get an actual mathematical, an actual economic situation here, instead of like the compounding returns of like what he's describing for habits. So let's say it's 30 years, you have a monthly contribution of 100, and you have an interest rate of like say 5%. What happens? So let's calculate that out. So in 100 years, your contributions each year are, 1200, 2400, 3600, and then it keeps growing fast. Well, this is if you start with $0 and you just contribute $100 every year for over 30 years, and you have 5% interest each year. If you start from $0 and each month you set aside $100, by the end you've contributed, after 30 years, you've contributed $36,000. But because of compounding also, you've reached $79,000. That's actually pretty impressive. Like, not bad for $100 a month, And 5% is like what bonds return for as an annual percentage yield right now, because of higher interest rates. So bonds right now are 5% a year, but the stock market or whatever, if you do it in an index fund, but I think on a low it's like I don't know, historical average over decades is like around 8-9% or something like that. So let's just calculate what happens then. Whoa, what happened? Look at that. So contributing the same 36,000, if you average around 8% returns, because of compounding, if you just put in a well-diversified low-interest index fund, you have a return of about 8%. It goes from $36,000, from $100 a month, you get $135,000. Yeah, pretty wild, huh? What's the answer to the original trivia question? Oh yeah, I kind of lost track. Let me see. What's 1.01 raised to the 365th? So yeah, 1% improved each day over 365 days will result in not a 37% increase, but a 37 times increase. Yeah, interesting, huh? So yeah, that's the power of building atomic habits. But I don't really know how they quantify that exactly. Like if you just practice something each day, try to improve it each time, like 1% each time, try to learn something new. Something new you learn each time you go practice over and over and over and over again. It adds up really quickly. I mean, each of those days counts. Each of those iterations counts, because if you do 200 times, it's 7 times. You do it 100 times, it's 2.7 times. If you do it I don't know, 50 times, it goes from like 1% on the first day to like eventually 60% return. But 50 days to 100 days to 200 days to 300 days, 365 days. And then by the end of those 365 days, you're really like kicking it into full gear, but that's only if you're able to maintain that 1% over 365 days. Index funds also pay out 4 times a year, so that speeds things up usually. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we got into economics a little bit there, but that's just been on my mind lately. Like, honestly, like I was looking at Magic the Gathering, and there's like let me see, it's kind of a trivia thing, like I don't know, this is kind of nerdy, but Magic the Gathering doubling. Budget doubling season. So I don't know, I can't find the thing I was looking for. Let me see. Double attack. Most damage with 3 cards. So yeah, check this out.
Last year, I made a video covering the most damage 3 cards in Magic could deal without infinites. The number we got was absurdly high. You should go watch the video. But it's time for an important update. As of Streets of New Capenna, there's a new champion. First, you play this friend. Then,
Devilish Valet. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double Devilish Valet's power until end of turn. And it starts with 1 power. So whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, double its power until end of turn. So it's going to double for each time a creature enters the battlefield.
cast army, making 13 zombies.
So it's going to be 13 doublings.
That brings the valet up to an 8,192.
13
Then
doublings.
you flash army back for 13 more zombies, bringing it to 67,108,864.
Power doubling.
Not bad. But ready for this? Then, for your third card, you cast Fungal Sprouting, making tokens equal to your highest power and causing 67,108,864 instances of power doubling. That's, well, this. I'm no expert in math notation, but I believe the official term here is GG. Last year...
Man, that's nuts, huh? I don't even know. Yeah, he's not even doing the math. I think that probably like breaks most calculators actually, because there's actually like a memory limit that most calculators have. Yeah, pretty wild. Ooh, and this has a Phyrexia update too. Wow, amazing, huh? So that's the power of doubling and compounding returns. So I forget what the trivia question was. What was the trivia question we were talking about? Yeah, if you improve 1% each day for a year, 365 days will result in 37 times your original thing. Not 37%, but 37 times returns. The power of compounding.
Each day for 1 year will go down nearly to 0. As James says in his book, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Habits don't seem to make much difference on a given day, but the impact over months or years can be absolutely enormous.
We don't often think about these small changes just because it takes so long to see the result. Like, this is something that I really struggle with. And I think this probably applies to everyone. Like, we're so attuned in modern society to try and seek instant gratification that it's actually really hard to focus on things that have long-term benefits.
Equally, the slow rate of transformation also means that it's really easy to let bad habits creep in. Like,
honestly, like maybe for our exercise this week, maybe we could like have a short exercise, writing exercise time, where we just sit and like spend some time listening to music and write 5 things we could improve about our lives. We could do to improve our lives in a tangible way. And if we did that every day, of the year, just write 5 things at the beginning of the day or some time of the day. We just write 5 things we can do to improve our lives in a tangible way, or even just make it easier. Just one, 2, or 3 things we could do. If we just wrote that every day for a whole year, and we just thought about that each time, then we improve our life every day. So, how long does it take for 22% to double? Okay, so 22% is right, the trivia night question. So so like let's say we have $1,000. Let's say we have $10,000 in debt or whatever. And how long does it take for it to double? Well, pay it off soon if you have 22% credit card debt. Because if you leave it alone, after 30 years, you would owe $212 million. Holy moly, you should declare bankruptcy and clear it out somehow. That's terrible. Stop licking the dust that collects under the bed. So it doesn't even take that long for it to double. Let's say you don't do contributions, not a monthly contribution. See, 10,000. No, sorry, I did the math wrong there. Calculate. Okay, even you start with, you don't contribute to it. You don't have any more debt. You start with $10,000 in debt. It gains 22% every year. So in like, you know, 3.5 years, it goes to $20,000. Just 3.5 years. $10,000 becomes, you know, $10,000 becomes 20,000 in 3.5 years. Another 7 years or so makes it like $40,000. And then it doubles every 3.5 years. So by 11 years, it's like over 80,000. By 14, 15 years is another 200,000. And then it keeps doubling every like 3.5 years. So by like 30 years, you're gonna owe $3 million. Yeah, it's about that much. Yeah. Yeah. And it compounds, so it's a little faster than like if it were just say 20% or 25% or something. All right. So let's see. So the answer was B out of A, B, and C. D. It's not 1.5. It's not 5.5. It's 3.5. You think you're good for the first 10 years, but then you get fucked for life. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, it seems slow at first. Like, you know, let's say you think it's like, oh, I owe like, you know, $1,000, you know, but you calculate it out. And then like in 30 years, like the last 10 years, it goes from like 50,000 to like 389,000. It's crazy. But on the flip side, you know, if you have a well-diversified index fund at 8% and you start with $1,000, you know, it can be worth $10,000 just by letting it sit there and do nothing, you know. Or, you know, or let's say you have $10,000 or something. Just let it sit there and do nothing. After 30 years, you have $100,000. And if you contribute, you know, say $100 each month or whatever, you'd have $236,000. You know, provided that the market has that generally maintains that historical average over time, and you hold it in the long term and stuff. And there might be some variance, there might be down markets and stuff, but you got to hold it in there and stuff. So. But yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'd recommend doing your own research and doing your own due diligence and seeking a financial advisor.
Eating badly and not exercising. And when we repeat these 1% errors day after day, they'll accumulate into larger problems. As James says in the book, time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally, bad habits make time your enemy. One of the other key points from our boy James's analysis of habits into larger problems. As James says in the book, time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally, bad habits make time your enemy. One of the other key points from our boy James's analysis of habits is what he calls the plateau of latent potential, which sounds all very fancy. Habits often don't seem to make a difference until we cross a critical threshold. We expect progress to be linear, but the key aspect of any compounding process is that the outcomes are delayed. This leads to an initial valley of disappointment, where we don't feel like we're making progress, as the results don't follow the linear trajectory that we expect. And so we just give up, because we're not getting the results we wanted. But as we can see from the graph, it does take time to build a habit to allow the compound interest of self-improvement to kind of take hold and give us amazing results over time. Key point number 2 from the book is to screw goals and focus on systems instead. James identifies 4 main problems with goal setting. Firstly, winners and losers have the same goals. Every Olympian wants the gold medal, every candidate wants the job, and so it can't be the goal that actually differentiates people.
Fantasy bussness. Fantasy business. Yeah, I don't like recommending things like that. I feel like yeah, I mean, like we're chatting in like the personal finance section of my Discord right now about like very basic advice stuff on investing and stuff. I guess this is kind of a useful tangent, but Like, yeah, a lot of really basic advice in terms of personal finance. A lot of this is like is like in this book called The Index Card, where he literally wrote all the advice you need on like an index card, like a 4x6 index card, um and like uh and like honestly, I took out a book from the library that was like personal finance for dummies, and basically all this stuff was in that personal finance book for dummies. But yeah, like, you know, have an emergency fund, pay off high interest debt, um, have health insurance. I think that's something that's not covered here. But like, yeah, max your employee match, 401k match if you have it. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here. I would say I'd recommend like this, like checking out what we talked about in the personal finance part of my Discord and chatting in there. And yeah, I can send an invite to that right now. Also, hey Quacks, how's it going? Then why have the book? Snowball versus avalanche method. Yeah, for personal finance, right? For the paying off debt and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you want to chat more, it's in my Discord. Yeah, why have the book? I mean, the book's meant to elaborate on some certain points and stuff, and like flesh out the ideas and everything, and explain the thoughts and like why it's like a little more complicated than that. But like it basically boils down to the index card and stuff. And a lot of financial advisors make it complicated and everything. But yeah, I'll share that in here. Compounding. Atomic Habits.
Right, secondly, achieving a goal is only a momentary change.
Sure, I might be able to pluck up the activation energy to kind of bring myself to clean my room, but if I continue my waste man habits and systems that led to the room getting messy in the first place, I'm just going to be left with a messy room again.
Yeah, I don't recommend speculative investing. I don't recommend gambling. That's terrible. Gambling is awful. Yeah, I don't. That's the thing you shouldn't do. Literally anything. If you do anything, do not gamble. That's bad. Yeah, that's terrible. I recommend thoroughly researched, with a love of learning, with a long-term view, with a lot of, if you're spending a lot of time and research and putting a lot of thought into it, that's one thing. If you're also just doing what's like generally recommended as a safe thing that like is good for most people, that's fine too. But I do not recommend like, hey, I'm gonna like get rich quick and like, you know, get 100 times returns on like this like thing that I didn't really think out that much. That seems like a good idea, but I'm not sure how it works exactly. Like if you can't explain to someone else like why your thing is gonna work out, then like, or why it makes sense, and like why you think it's guaranteed to work out, then like, yeah, it's you're basically gambling at that point. It's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. People like Magic the Gathering. I was just showing a thing about Magic the Gathering. That's something there, but yeah.
And in a few days' time.
In the same way, when we
habits,
achieve a goal, we
habits.
only change our life for the moment. We get these temporary results.
Wait. Hold on. He's talking about
we only change our
healthy habits, but he's changed his life for the moment. He's reading 50 Shades of Grey here. What's he doing? And this, yo, you're posting horny on main, dude. What is that? I think that's what he's trying to get at, though. He's like, oh, you're only seeking short-term satisfaction by reading erotica. I think that's what he's trying to get at with that.
Getting messy in the first place,
you gotta
I'm just
clean
going to be
your
left
room.
with a messy room again in a few days' time.
In the same way, when we achieve a goal, we only change our life for the moment. We get these temporary results. Instead, what we really need to change is the systems that cause those results in the first place.
Thirdly, James argues that goals restrict our happiness.
There's an implicit assumption behind any goal, and that's once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy. And so we end up continuously putting off happiness until the next milestone. Finally, goals are at odds with long-term progress. There's another really nice quote here. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game.
Like for me, with this YouTube channel, I deliberately don't have any goals for it because, like, what's the point? I mean, I might say to myself, oh, it would be, you know, my goal is to hit 1 million subscribers by next year or whatever. But like, I'm not trying to win YouTube by hitting a certain subscriber count. I just love the process of making these videos, and it's fun and it's great and it makes money and it's sustainable and it's just like I want to continue playing the game.
Money.
I
think that's already
it's this
a
idea
good
between the system and the goal.
And thing right there.
You know, like say you're playing a sport. In every sport, the goal is to have the best score on the scoreboard at the end of the game. But it would be ridiculous to spend all game looking at the scoreboard because it wouldn't help you in any way. So, in fact, if you just ignored the score the entire time and just focused on a better process or playing a better way or a better scheme or strategy, then you probably would end up with the best score. I think Bill Walsh, he was the Super Bowl winning head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. He had this quote, it was like, the score takes care of itself. And that I think that probably applies to a lot of tracking.
Score takes
so
care of
now
itself.
that we've seen why systems are so important, key point number 3 is another quote from the book, and that is, identity change is the North Star of habit change.
We've got outcomes on the outside, concerned with changing the results.
I know that's a little frustrating seeing like, oh, he's successful already and he's saying, I just do it because I love it. But like, I mean, you kind of do have to have that attitude to reach that point, I guess. But in which case you're already winning and it doesn't matter where you are. But yeah, it is a little frustrating seeing that, yeah.
Related to our habits and systems, and finally our identity, which is related to our beliefs. Most of us work from outcome to identity rather than identity to outcome. But as our boy James says, the ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of our identity. When we solve problems in terms of outcomes and results, we only solve them temporarily. But to solve problems in the longer term, at the systems level, we need to change our identity.
This point really resonated with me when I first read the book. Like, I've been struggling personally with A, eating healthily, and B, going to the gym for the last several years. And before, I used to have an outcomes-based way, and B point really resonated with me when I first read the book. Like, I've been struggling personally with A, eating healthily, and B, going to the gym.
Oh, he's eating at Nando's. Nando's. What is it called? Cheeky Nando's? What is Nando's? Wait, what is this? Oh, maybe I'm confused. A term used by Brits to linguistically torment confused Americans, wherein they explain what it means while using as much British slang as humanly possible for maximum yank confusion. Nando's is a British restaurant chain where you can get a He's trolling us by looking this up. Nando's is a British restaurant chain where you can get a respectable amount of spicy chicken and chips, fries for a moderate price, suitable for sharing among a small group of friends. Cheeky is a multi-purpose word in which this context appears to mean spicy, awesome, delicious, and amusing in a slightly naughty, irreverent way. Because you're eating with your friends who are a cheeky bunch, leading to a cheeky dining experience overall. Cheeky Nando's with the lads in American might be kick-ass hot wings with my bros, although kick-ass lacks some subtle connotations of irreverence that cheeky possesses. Just went for a cheeky Nando's, let's go wind up some yanks by tweeting about it. Cheeky Nando's. I don't know, did you do that on purpose? Or is it just... What the fuck does cheeky Nando's mean? Nando's. Maybe he just likes Nando's or something and he didn't think about that. Nando's. Is this food good? I'm getting so sidetracked. That looks pretty good. that looks pretty good. South African restaurant. Dallas Fort Worth now.
Gym for the last several years. And before I used to have
What's he eating there?
A, eating healthily, and B, going to the gym for the last
What is this?
several years. And before I used to have an outcomes-based way of looking at it. So I used to think, I want to get rid of my belly fat. Therefore, I'm going to follow Tim Ferriss's low-carb diet. Therefore, I'll be a healthy person. But since reading the book, I now have more of a identity-based approach to looking at this. So I think, like, I try to think in my head, I am a healthy person. Therefore, as a healthy person, I will eat wholesome food and exercise regularly. And then one day, maybe I'll look like Zac Efron. We'll see how that goes. And finally,
I'm
20
gonna look
before,
like Zac
at this point,
Efron.
we're thinking, okay,
I-
cool, I'm sold on the
I gotta
idea of
embrace
building
my
useful
inner
habits.
Zac
I'm sold on
Efron.
the idea that it's all about tiny improvements over a very long time, and that it's all about systems rather than goals.
You gotta respect me for the inner Zac Efron that I am. Also, Zac Efron is like a totally different generation than I am, like a half generation away from me or something like that. Zac Efron.
But how do we actually build those habits in the first place? How do we overcome the difficulty? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we can actually split up the process of building habits into 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward.
The cue triggers the brain to initiate an action. The craving provides the motivational force. The response is the action or habit that we perform, and the reward is the end goal.
And it's these 4 things, cue, craving, response, and reward, which lead to what James Clear calls the 4 laws of behavior change.
All right.
The first law is make it obvious, and it relates to designing our environment around our cues.
I applied this to my life just the other day, actually. So for the last year plus, I've been taking a tablet called finasteride to combat my hair loss. And in fact, people have been commenting the videos that, Ollie, your hair looks thicker. So thank you. But recently I realized I was vitamin D deficient as well, because I spent way too much time in front of a computer and don't ever leave the house. And so I got these vitamin D tablets, but I kept on forgetting to take them. And I realized the reason I kept forgetting to take them is because they were on the other side of the kitchen to my finasteride that I take every day as a habit. And so all I did was I moved the vitamin D tablets over to the other side of the kitchen. And now I see them in front of my finasteride, and therefore I take both tablets every night.
There
so just
you go.
a little change that has now built that habit almost immediately.
Kind of the principle of environment design in general, which is you want to put fewer steps between you and the good behaviors and more steps between you and the bad ones. And imagine the cumulative impact of living in an environment that exposes you to the cues of your positive habits and reduces the cues of your negative habits. It's kind of like you're just gently being nudged.
You move something, life hack,
in the right direction each day.
I mean, like, it's just makes it, you gotta make it easier, man.
The craving aspect
it
of the
just
habit
makes
loop,
life that
and
much
tries
easier.
to take advantage of what we know about dopamine.
Because, like, if you don't have the energy to do it, you know, it just makes it easier, man.
As humans, we're all motivated by the anticipation of rewards.
This is kind of
so
human
making
nature.
habits attractive will help us stick to them.
And in fact, one of the make it attractive.
I could do it, you know, even if you don't make it attractive, even if you don't make it rewarding, even if you don't, you know, make it easy and accessible. You know, I could just do it through being a boss and being awesome. I don't need any of that. Nah, it's human nature. You can't fight human nature. That's human psychology, you know.
Things that I did for going to the gym is that I started listening to fantasy audiobooks on Audible, and this would be the perfect time to do an Audible plug, but sadly no one is sponsoring this video, so I hope you enjoy this ad-free experience.
The third law is make it easy, and the main aim here is to reduce the friction and to prime our environment for the habits that we'd like to develop.
There's a phrase that I like that I think I came up with, but I probably actually read it somewhere and then just forgot to cite the source. Anyway, the phrase is that friction is the most powerful force in the universe. I've seen this so many times in my own life. Like, anything I can do to reduce the friction, to make doing a good thing slightly easier, will pay dividends in the long run. Like, having a piano right next to me, having a guitar next to my desk, means that my default procrastination when I'm, you know, when I can't be bothered to do any work or film a video, is that I will play the guitar or practice some stuff on the piano. Like, reducing the friction makes it far more likely for me to do the thing.
And the fourth law is make it immediately satisfying. Our brains have evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards, and the cardinal rule of behavior change is what is immediately rewarded is repeated, and what is immediately punished is avoided. We get short-term bursts of dopamine from going through the McDonald's drive-thru or scrolling aimlessly through Instagram, making us more likely to repeat these bad habits. To develop better habits, James says that we should try to attach some form of immediate gratification so that we can make the habit
Bro, he clearly cares about making money off of this.
immediately satisfying.
After reading the book, I realized that I needed to make
these are really well produced.
To the gym thing more immediately satisfying. Sometimes if I'm going to the gym after work, I'll do my workout and then I will jump in the swimming pool, do like a length or two just for fun, and then go into the spa and just kind of read a book for like 20 minutes. And this sounds really privileged and spoiled, but like, the fact that I've got those activities lined up after going to the gym makes the whole process of going to the gym more immediately satisfying, which means I'm far more likely to do it. So by combining these laws and their opposite...
Did he say that... What did he say?
Habits, James says that we should try to attach some form of immediate gratification so that we
Twilight.
can make the habit immediately
He's reading
satisfying.
Twilight. There you go.
After reading the book, I realized that I needed to make this going to the gym thing more immediately satisfying. Sometimes if I'm going to the gym after work, I'll do my workout and then I will jump in the swimming pool, do like a length or two just for fun, and then go into the spa and just kind of read a book for like 20 minutes. And this sounds really privileged and spoiled, but like the fact that I've got those activities lined up after going to the gym makes the whole process of going to the gym more immediately satisfying, which means I'm far more likely to do it.
You know, just go to the spa, go swimming afterwards.
So by combining these laws and the
dude, I go to Planet Fitness. It costs $5 a month. They don't have a pool and a spa in there, man. What are you talking about?
We've got this diagram that comes from the book. We want to ensure that our good habits are positioned towards the left side of the spectrum to make them obvious,
50 Shades was originally a Twilight
and satisfying. And we want to work to make our bad habits more difficult by...
So instead of obvious, you have invisible. Instead of attractive, you got, oh my gosh, fugly. That's rude. Instead of easy, it's hard. Instead of satisfying, it's unsatisfying.
Making the cues invisible, the action unattractive and hard, and the reward unsatisfying in an ideal world.
There's truth to all this,
We rarely stop to think about our own habits or plan for long-term change when we start a new regime like going to the gym. The great power of Atomic Habits is the emphasis that it places on systems rather than goals, identity rather than outcomes, and small habits rather than drastic change. There isn't a precise answer to how long it takes to build a habit, because habits are not a finish line to cross, but a lifestyle to live. The key part to remember is that small habits compound. Atomic habits may be individually small, but collectively and given time, they can hold remarkable power to bring remarkable change to our lives. Thank you so much for watching.
Flip that book, buddy. Oh, that's pretty well centered. Okay. All right. If you go on a first thing, you see the guy's 50 Shades and sequels and spin-offs. Is that a red flag for you, right, guy? How to form a habit. I mean, that's the ultimate habit formation book. I heard multiple times of Atomic Habits. Pretty good explainer of the ideas of the book. Gosh, it's pretty late. I think it might be time to raid and run soon. Okay, let's do a little bit of journaling and then we'll wrap up. So let's do our little closing exercise for the day. Let's write 1 to 3 things we could do to improve our lives in a tangible way. Let's get a piece of paper and pen. That happened to you go on a first date and you see the girl has 50 Shades and all the sequels and spin-offs on the top shelf for his or her case. Is that a red flag for y'all? Does that happen to me and I end up marrying the person? I mean, like, it's a, I don't know. I feel like it was a very popular book and you'd probably be cutting yourself off from a huge portion of the population if you made an immediate judgment on something like a book like that. There's like a lot worse kind of like character flaws and stuff in a person that would be a bad thing. So I think it's not a bad thing at all, man. It's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, and happy marriage, happy getting hitched, buddy. So 1 to 3 things we could do to improve our lives in a tangible way. Let's work on this while we're journaling. So, what is this? Is this Hotline Bling? Drake and Chill. Oh my gosh. Right, 1 to 3 things we could do to improve our lives in a tangible way. Let's say we do that. Okay, let's change this. Right, 1 thing we could do for today, this week, this month. Okay. So today, this week, this month. Today, this week, this month. some reason I listened to a lot of Drake in 2023. He's not even a rapper, you know? That's what I hear people say. He's not a real rapper. Got my pen and paper ready. Today. What can I do this week? Calendar. Let me see. Month goal is the toughest. Day, week, month, or year. Month goal is the toughest, yeah. Because year, you can kind of push things out. Month, after that finance talk, I tried paying a credit card to no avail. Oh no, what happened? You tried paying a credit card to no avail? Was it like through an online bill payment on a credit card thing, or what? Oh my gosh, that's annoying. It's like an error on their website or mobile app or something. That's annoying. Online. Closed hours for phone help? How could they have closed hours? It's an online thing. Gee. Oh. One thing that I do, so yeah, one thing they kind of recommend is to like pay your debt, and like one thing I do is to just have it automatically pay my credit card debt each month, just automatically, so I just don't have to think about it. If they don't show up for 15 minutes, your debt is canceled. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Hey, that's not my fault. You guys didn't show up. You have a guarantee. You know, it's kind of like if your pizza isn't delivered in 20 minutes or less, it's free or whatever. I don't think I've heard of any pizza places doing that anymore. I only saw that in Home Alone last time I saw that, or Spider-Man or whatever. But I don't think I've heard of pizza places that like pizza delivered in 20 minutes or it's free, guaranteed. I haven't heard that in a while. What can I do this month? See how to just make it easier to do things rather than necessarily do them, you know. Oh, you got timed out. Don't give Uber Eats any ideas. Large sloth lemur. what the heck is a month? The only way I can conceptualize a month is through 4 weeks. Oh my gosh. What is a month? 4 weeks. I mean, it's kind of the beginning of, you know, it's basically the beginning of January, so until end of January, you know? Let me see. I gave myself some basic things to do, and then maybe I'll think of more stuff later, So the easiest thing, I got some easy answers for some of this stuff. I cheated a little bit. So I said the first thing I can improve my life, in a tangible way today, is to do this writing exercise. We're gonna compare answers. I'm gonna fill out my answers and you can let me know your answers. Do this writing exercise. Well, good way to start. Tidy room a little, but it's pretty late. And then move phone, read from Nook e-reader tablet tonight instead. I think that'll improve my life greatly, because I'll just instead of procrastinating on my phone before bed, I'll use my easy on the eyes e-reader tablet that doesn't use blue light, it's not connected to the internet, and I'll read a meaningful book. Problem is I don't care about most things anymore after a month. Oh, I see. Yeah. But yeah, if you just do this over and over again, I think I'm going to do this every time I stream now. I'll try to do this every time I stream. I'll have this exercise for us. So this week, what did I write down? Get ready for some traveling. Am I doing traveling or for a conference festival coming up? Square away messages and replies, and plan week with stakeholders early in the week if possible, then plan rest a week. So I'll do that like Sunday, Monday. I'm going to MagFest again. Yes, I'm going to MagFest. Thanks for asking. MagFest. It's a big nerdy music and games fest in Maryland. Still have to book my. Oh shoot. Okay, that's a to-do thing rather than a habit thing. But I gotta Square main message ready for festival. Any supplies, packing, but also book my bus ticket, bus or train ticket or whatever. That's important. Hey, what up here, PhD? Yeah, it's still not connected to YouTube. Yeah, you gotta check the VOD. I gotta upload the VOD after this.
And his name is John Cena!
Yo, what up here, PhD? Large Sloth Lemur is giving you a shout out here, PhD. Hopefully that doesn't, like, you know, get in the way of your work or whatever. I don't know if that was, like, during your work. John Cena. Yeah, I gotta add the, I have to add back John Cena into the sound alert. Maybe I'll make a note of that. The thing. John Cena sound alert anim. Okay. What up here, PhD? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, folks. And then this month, review month. Do this writing exercise again. All. Review results of month. Focus on the process, not goals. 1%. Plan for next month. Oh my gosh. That's rude, PR, large sloth lemur. You should ask people in November if they're still doing their New Year's resolutions. Oh man, we just saw something earlier on CBS News that was like, you know, first weekend, 25% of people already gave up their New Year's resolutions. First month in of the year, 50% of people given up. 2 months in, like still 25% of people are still trying to commit to their New Year's resolutions. It drops off very quickly for most people. But yeah, it's good to have a, you know, try to have goals that are process driven, improving things 1% each time, and it compounds. Make easy, accessible, attractive, rewarding. My resolution has to spend time on Twitch. Already ahead of the curve. Great. Already doing it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, what's my resolution though? That's a good question. Well, I want to spend more time in the city doing things, but there's a lot of frictions there. Reduce frictions as much as possible. You know what? Every month I should review calendar of events, get a sense of what's attractive, and try to remember to do it. And you know what? Maybe even make it a part of my Substack. For things relevant to other people. I've dropped off on my Substack, by the way. I gotta get back to it. But yeah. None of this sounds fun. How do I these are just to-do list things. Plan week ahead early in the week and reward self. And with snack something. That's all I want. Something like that. Gotta add emojis. Yeah. Make it fun. Here you go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking here. Right, one thing we could do to improve our lives in a tangible way today. I said one goal, one thing to do, and then I've been overachieving. Yeah, that's a good enough set of things to do. Okay, I think if you have your things and I have my things, then we're pretty much good. This was a good stream. I feel like I learned a lot, and hopefully everyone else learned a lot too, and we're on a good start for our New Year's resolutions. And we learned about atomic habits. You did not watch this. We learned about compounding. Power of compounding. Watch the index card. got some happy broadcast in. We reviewed 2023 in 7 minutes. We saw some New Year's resolution videos. Yeah, thank you for the stream. Hope you have a good year, homie. Hope you have a good year also, homie. Take care, folks. Let's see who we can raid right now. Who's good to raid? Let's see. Who's on? Let's pay it forward if we can. We should pay it forward. Oh, let's mute that. Let's mute that stupid front page so we can raid. Thanks for a good stream. Good talking with y'all. You know what? Hopefully y'all can stick around for a little bit. We want to raid somebody. I don't know. Honestly, like, let me see. I mean, honestly, I like this streamer. I haven't watched a lot lately, but he's played good streams in the past, and he's a regular streamer. He's played a lot of games I like, and I like his sensibilities. So let's raid Bee's Knees. Yeah, let's raid Bee's Knees. So stick around for a bit, join the raid if you can. Feel free to stick around and, you know, lurk a little bit. And let's raid Bee's Knees. Let's see. Raid Bee's Knees. He does like a lot of Switch games and indie games and emotional games and story games and stuff like that. And sometimes he does like hacky sack and stuff like that, a lot of physical stuff in IRL. Right now he's playing Hunt Showdown, but yeah, you can check out games he's played like Psychonauts, The Quarry, Tunic, Wildermyth, Outer Wilds, Artful Escape. I loved Artful Escape when I played it. To the Moon, Spiritfarer, a lot of games I've been meaning to play. Never Alone, Alba. Yeah, really cool stuff. Mario Odyssey, Link's Awakening. So yeah, check out Bee's Knees. Let's raid Bee's Knees. Alright, stick around. Yeah, hacky sack. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Alright, folks. Hopefully you can stick around and join the raid for Bee's Knees. This was Mudita Heart. Mudita means joy at another's joy. And you check me out everywhere. And yeah, thanks for following. This was a fun stream. Pretty tired. Join for Bee's Knees, and I'll see you. Stay soft, stay strong, and I'll see you next time. Take care, folks. Ta-ta for now.